very, very outstanding season. So we'll have those two interviews a bit later in the show. Also saw some video of Tiger Woods making some golf swings in public for the first time. A lot of people were discussing that on the old internet yesterday. Hey, let's welcome in the Duke of Delburne as we approach 7:10 in Edmonton. Good morning, Duke. Man, that Jays game, you come back, they are never out of it. They're never out of it, Duke.
Yeah, it was kind of an interesting game because they didn't get the best stuff from Shane Bieber, right? He kind of gets tagged a little bit, and then he gets just through the first five, and I think it was a third. But then this was a night where the starting pitching wasn't as best, but the bullpen came in and shut it down, and they got into a little bit of a jam, but get out of it unscathed. Then the bats kind of came alive, and as per usual, it's some unexpected heroes, some guys stepping up in big moments. The play by Vladimir Guerrero to throw it Altuve at third, it got me up off the couch, when it happens, because and Buck talks about it a ton on the broadcast. Like, this is a guy that getting to the major leagues was a third baseman, right? And pretty successful at the position until the major league level. So his arm is really strong. He has the baseball intuition to make plays like that. Loved it. And then IKF with the little slapstick up right to the second baseman. Perfectly placed. You only need one run. It doesn't matter how it comes. It doesn't have to be a walk-off homer. And gives themselves a really good look into the rest of this series for an Astros team that is kind of like them, battling for a pennant, for a division title, and trying to secure some home field games here come playoff time. So it's a big win against a good team. We'll see what happens today with Jose Barrios on the bump.
Seattle won last night. Take on St. Louis again here today. Texas won last night. Seattle's a game back at Houston. Texas is 2.5. And Texas, with their pitching, and again, they're led by Jake DeGrom, and they've had injuries. They've had more injuries probably than anyone in Texas, but they are right on the heels of Houston. And the wild card is, well, you can say it's tightening up even more. The Mariners are just a game and a half up on Texas. Cleveland's still sniffing around. Kansas City a little bit, maybe with Tampa Bay. After that, it's pretty well lights out for everyone else. But you mentioned it, Duke. Tonight we're going to see Jose Barrios up against Jason Alexander, Costanza fame. So we'll see what happens there. It's Gausman and Christian Javier. Should also mention that Luis Garcia, you think about how tough it is to come back, and here's a guy in the second inning throws a pitch and just signals to the dugout, I'm done. I would imagine he's going to be done for the year. Just sad in the sense that, guy works so hard, comes back. He hasn't started a whole lot of games, but here it is, and he's probably gone for the year. Hey, Duke, I was over at K97 doing our daily hit. I was alerted by one Terry Evans that today is National TV Dinner Day. So,
really?
I'm expecting, an in or out.
Haven't we talked TV dinners before?
We have. It's I'm sure it's the 1 year anniversary of the
That's a good
last
chance.
time.
Good chance.
So National TV Dinner, because you know what they were doing? They were trying to set up their lineup for songs, and they had TV Dinner by ZZ Top.
Oh yeah,
getting ready for what they were going to talk about.
Sure. So, all right. Well, we'll see what we can do.
National
no promises.
TV
Promises. Maybe there's something else that's
Dinner Day
better suited.
When you came in, I asked you about that play on Monday night, the challenge by Ben Johnson on TJ Hawkinson was the ball part of the ball carrier. Well, even a guy like Mike Florio, who's pretty big time.
Oh yeah.
Mike Florio put out an article last night, pretty late, Duke, and saying about how it was punched out the ball without him touching the player. And in Florio's words in the article on Pro Football Talk goes, many, including me, thought if Sewell, and that was the Chicago defender, hit the ball without touching Hawkinson, it's a fumble. Johnson apparently thought that too, and we're talking about Ben Johnson, head coach. Otherwise, why challenge something that happened? But the rule, and it is a little ambiguous, obviously, because some people did and did not know that if there is contact with the ball carrier or the ball, and the ball carrier's knee has struck the ground, it's down by contact. The thing that Florio's saying is to avoid the nitpicking over whether the defender only hit the ball. So that was a big play, obviously. And when you look at it and it's not explained to you that ball is part of the ball carrier, and if he's down already, then that he is down by contact. But
it does put another wrinkle in, and I was pretty harsh on Ben Johnson yesterday throughout this show, even in a Fantasy Frenzy, about the challenge, and you're talking about likelihood of getting it overturned, and so even with this new information, I still fall back on that defense of it, saying like we're looking for sufficient evidence to overturn the call in the field, right? Hockey fans, they should know that very well. If we're talking about whether it's kicking it in, a high stick, goaltender interference, like the call made by the real-time, real-life official matters a lot, because you need evidence to overturn, not just to flip-flop the other way. So I would still say that even with that information,
probably
I'd have a hard time looking at that and saying, oh, for sure, no doubter, let's throw the flag down on this one.
Exactly. Well, we'll talk a little NFL with Nick Baumgartner from The Athletic right off the hop here after our first break. Again, we'll have some Elks one-on-ones with Mark Killam and Cody Fajardo. Maybe we'll split those up. We'll see how the morning goes. Mark Spector in his usual 8 o'clock slot. Pete Jensen from NHL.com coming up at 8:20. We've got David Schlemko, our co-host, from 9 to 11 for Cougar Paint and Collision. Tomorrow, the ATB Classic gets underway at Northern Bear. We'll have Will Holen on. He's a PGA Tour America's Players from Edmonton, played at Lipscomb College. He was on the show last year, but really now this is his first foray into the pro game on the PGA Tour America's tour. And then Jordan Hall from NBCS in the 10 o'clock hour covers the Philadelphia Flyers. When we come back, Nick Baumgartner from The Athletic, little NFL talk on the Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne on Sports 1440, and we're streaming on YouTube.
God said, I need somebody to get up before dawn, milk cows, work all day in the fields, milk cows again, eat supper, go to town, and stay all night at a meeting of the school board. So God made a farmer.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. We are so thankful God made a farmer. For the month of September, it is our goal to feed 500 families. With every vehicle sold, we will feed a family of 4. So please help us reach our goal. Visit us online at northgategm.com.
Wing Wednesday at First Round. Whether you're coming for the first round, the last round, or a few rounds in between, they've got you covered with half-price wings every Wednesday night. Half-price wings. Over 35 delicious flavors like Cajun salt and pepper, maple bacon, and Inferno wings. Now half price every Wednesday night. Wash them down with a cold pint of Canadian or Coors Light for only $5.75. Half price Wing Wednesdays at First Round in West Ed and now downtown. First Round, burgers, beer, sports.
I'm a little hungry.
I've got Booster Balls from Booster Juice.
Booster what now?
Booster Balls. They're little protein bites packed with nutrients. Chewy, crunchy, yummy, and new flavors all the time. Like this little guy. The new mint chocolate Booster Ball. Peppermint, cocoa, coconut, peanut butter, maple syrup, all rolled up into a delightful little bite-sized snack.
Why am I just hearing about this now?
I don't know.
Can I have one?
No.
Booster Juice, Canadian born, blending since 1999.
The ATB Classic is returning to Northern Bear Golf Club.
An international field of professionals will battle it out on their path towards the PGA Tour.
Advance tickets are $20 or upgrade your access to sit greenside in the Sports 1440 Birdie Bar, presented by Sleeman.
Net proceeds go to Youth on Course to give kids age 6 to 18 access to play golf for just $5.
Come see the future stars of the PGA Tour.
The ATB Classic,
September 11th to 14th.
Get your tickets at atbclassic.com.
Hey, tough game today, Coach. What happened out there?
Well, our O-line was about as sturdy as a The receivers couldn't catch a thing if they tried. Next question.
Somebody needs a filter. Napa Auto Parts annual fall filter event sale is on now till September 21st. Visit your participating Napa store and get your cabin, air, and oil filters and more to keep your vehicle or equipment running in peak winning condition this fall. That's Napa know-how.
I'm Rick Showers from Noble RV, and I want to explain how our operation works. You see, over at the new RV store, they take orders and try to sell them all by camping season, and sometimes they sell out early. Sometimes they're stuck with a few that just won't move, and maybe they take a couple of used ones on trade. At No Bull, it's a whole different ballgame.
You have inventory arriving all the time, right, Rick?
That's right, Bob. The RVs at No Bull are here on consignment. Folks choose to sell their RVs with us because the customers are already here.
And you specialize in used RVs.
Better believe it, Bob. The new RV stores are not that interested in used models. And nobody in Alberta has more quality used RVs than we do. Not by a long shot. So if you want to sell yours fast, come to where the buyers are. And that's here.
And that's Noble.
NobleRV.ca.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 7:20 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne with you on Sports 1440. Week number 2 of the NFL. It's just, man, it just creeps right up on you, doesn't it, with these Thursday night games, Washington and Green Bay tomorrow. And we're going to talk a little NFL with Nick Baumgartner from The Athletic. Morning, Nick. You're with Kevin Karius. Thanks for jumping on Sports 1440 once again. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely, Kevin. How are you?
Doing great up here. Hey, just before we get to week 1, week 2, I saw your article last night. It was pretty decent in the sense of, here we go. We're talking about quarterbacks for next year in the NFL draft and the tracker. Just maybe let our listeners know a little bit about that article, Nick.
Yeah, so, I mean, this is going to be a much better year in 2026, I would think, for quarterbacks. Depending on who comes out, I think either way, actually, because we don't know about Arch Manning yet. There's a lot of attention on him, obviously, with the last name and everything else. But basically, everyone in his family has more or less talked about, it's either almost certain or a high probability that he'll be back as a senior. So that's at least 50-50. So we don't know about him. We don't know about guys like Fernando Mendoza, Sam Levitt. But a lot of talented players right now as compared to last year. I would say that there's probably like 7, maybe 8 guys that are going to flirt with the top 50, which is way, way more than we've seen in recent years. So a much better quarterback class, a lot of arm talent, but also a lot of inconsistency right now. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, as you said, Nick, like Arch Manning, he gets the headlines. The guy I wanted to talk about with you is Lenore Sellers out of South Carolina. Yeah. The guy's a mountain of a man here. Wow.
Oh, yeah. It's like 6'4", almost 250 at this point. And, he moves like a guy who's about 210. Like a legitimate scrambler, really, really hard to tackle. Like, I think one of his best traits is his ability to move around in the pocket. Like, he is incredibly difficult to bring down back there for his size and everything else. Kind of like the Cam Newton size to a degree, but also has a lot of arm talent. Really smart player, played a lot as a young guy, but he's right in that mix. He's 20. He's really young. So there's a lot of these guys. He's another one, too, where he could go back to school. But a ton of talent there. If he can figure it out, it's going to be similar to the Anthony Richardson conversation, but maybe a little bit more advanced because I think Lenoris is a better passer right now than Richardson was coming out.
And maybe some of these younger guys need a little more time. I know they all want to get to the NFL as fast as possible, but maybe it's best if they spend a little more time. I saw your comparable about like a Josh Allen when he's running the ball and almost impossible to tackle. You just mentioned Cam Newton too. I mean, those are pretty heady comparisons, Nick.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that's where the league is sort of headed. If we look around the NFL right now, you see a lot of these guys. Jaden Daniels, J.J. McCarthy, the new kid from Minnesota, can run. Caleb can run. So everybody that's come out in the last several years, even Bo Nix can move a little bit. Like everybody's got to have that ability to move a little bit. And I think with the run game kind of coming back in vogue in the NFL, I think teams are maybe more open to that a little bit as well. You got to be careful. You don't want to get guys hurt, but it's just another layer there. Like everybody saw what Jaden Daniels was able to do last year with Washington. Like he is a different level scrambler, and it has to be something that you have to sort of account for every week. And I think that'll be something that we look at going forward with these guys. Even Arch. I mean, Arch Manning's a really good athlete too.
Yeah. The Athletics, Nick Baumgartner, our guest on the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440. Always overreactions after week 1. But in your opinion, Nick, what would you have for concerns, I guess? More concerns than an overreaction around the NFL after just week 1?
Yeah, I think that there's a couple. I think that there was a few teams that we looked at and said, they might be taking a step back this year, or at least they're going to be slow coming out of the blocks. I think Detroit was one that we all sort of wondered, how's that going to go with the new coordinators? But I think the real Frank Ragnow retiring, I think, was the real big whoa in the middle of that offensive line. They did not run the ball the way that I think that they would have liked, especially early. So I think that's a concern for them in that really tough division there. Also, the way that Baltimore finishes that game, that's one that I feel like is going to stick in their craw for probably a really long time. And then the other one that I looked at too, which was a really interesting game. And again, you don't want to overreact too much in these week ones. The 49ers and the Seahawks, the Seahawks continue to struggle there early on under Mike McDonald. But also, I think Trent Williams got hurt pretty badly there for the 49ers. And if he can't go, if this is going to be a thing for him, they could be in real trouble. So, a lot of teams right off the shoot going to have some questions to answer. The Giants also, like, are they going to continue on down the road with Russell Wilson? How long are you going to do that before you're going to have to put Jackson Dart in the game? So a lot of questions for some teams right away, but I think for some teams that we thought were going to have some interesting ones right off the bat, this is kind of not really a shock.
What's in the water in San Fran here, Nick? Every year, I mean, guys are going down like
I know.
Flies. What is it?
I feel like they've been on a really rough downward trend ever since they made that big trade with all those picks to trade for Trey Lance, and it didn't work out. And what they have been battling ever since is they just lack depth. They haven't had the ability to attack the draft like they used to. They're losing guys. They didn't pay guys on certain guys have left because they didn't want to pay them. They try to prioritize other people over them. It hasn't worked out. And now you look at them and they're just kind of an aging team that has had to make, kind of awkward contract decisions like the Brock Purdy deal. We look at just what Tua got paid in Miami, and they just put up 8 points the other day. And if you're San Francisco, I'm worried that the same thing's going to happen there, that we're going to get stuck with a $50 million quarterback who's kind of, not going to get us there. So they made a big gamble, and it did not work. And they have not been able to recover since. And I feel like they're still sort of scrambling in that sense and trying to rebuild as they go, which is really hard to do in the NFL.
Nick Baumgartner, our guest on Sports 1440, a massive uptick in kickoff returns, as you know.
Yes.
15 years, I believe, since we've had this many returned. What did you make of that? And everyone knows with the rule changes that probably was going to happen, Nick.
I thought it was great. And like last year, I was expecting something like this last year, actually, and it didn't quite happen. So the changes have been good because like the idea, the spirit of the new rule, I think is awesome because really what happens is the ball comes at you so quick now if you're a defender. Like you have to wait, and really the play doesn't hit like it used to. There's not a big wedge coming up at you with all the speed. A lot of teams have changed some of the return guys too. It's not just necessarily the fastest guy in the field. It could be like the most explosive who can make one cut, get into an open space, and then suddenly you're looking at like a 30 or 40-yard return. So I think it's been great, and it's something that everybody's going to have to adjust. Everyone's going to have to deal with. I think you'll see some special teams coaches lose their jobs over this because it's just some of this stuff can't happen. Like you can't be giving people the ball at the 50-yard line consistently in some of these games. So it's been interesting, and I think it's pretty cool. I think that was something that obviously I like the idea to get rid of it for safety concerns, but we got to bring it back and try to make it work. And I think they've done a nice job of figuring that out.
What about teams trying to get in front of it? Like I'm just thinking, in Philadelphia, they pick up Tank Bigsby.
Yeah.
And, if they can turn him into what I think people thought he could be as a returner, I mean, that's a big weapon here.
Oh, absolutely. I think that's what we're going to see in the coming years now, too, with this. If it holds up like this, you'll see teams start to, identify returners in free agency, in the draft, guys that they normally wouldn't have taken or wouldn't have taken a chance on, but they're like, hey, we think he can do something for us in this return game. Also, different looking guys. Like I said, in Detroit, they've got a linebacker back there returning some kicks because they like how he moves in short spaces. And it's just one of those things like different athletes back there doing it too.
What about teams in the sense, Nick, will go, I'm trying to think like a Tyler Lockett back in the day when he was doing, both receiving and returning punts and kicks in Seattle. Do you think we'll find more of teams going with a dual threat to maybe save a man on the roster and have a receiver that maybe does both because of, he's not going to get banged up as much as he was?
Yeah, I do think that's the ideal situation if you can find a guy who can kind of split both. Like a lot of times you try to find a guy who can be your slot guy or your third guy, but also handle your returning duties. But I will say, with these new rules, if there's a guy that comes out of the draft or there's a guy that's making some hay here, maybe not like a Devin Hester level guy, but if there's a guy who's pretty good at this, or a couple guys here, I could see a market developing over time here. If this thing becomes something where it's every week where we're talking about, hey man, somebody's out here getting 30-yard rips every week, like that's a big deal. So I could see there being a market for guys like that. I don't know how much, but with the cap continuing to grow and everything else, like that's a big deal. Returning for a long time, it hasn't been a big deal, right? And I think that we're slowly seeing it might be creeping back in.
Mm-hmm. Nick Baumgartner, our guest on the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440. We were talking about it yesterday and a little bit this morning, that Ben Johnson challenge on the TJ Hawkinson punch out from Sewell, pardon me. You know, like even a guy like I was reading the article from Mike Florio, and Mike's as good as it gets. I mean, his pedigree. He was confused about it, about thinking that there was a chance that this should have been a fumble, but the ball carrier and the ball, they're part together, and if they're down, what did you make of everything? And were you totally clear on the rule and the call and the challenge and everything?
It's really weird because that was one of those ones where I felt like you'd have to. Like you could run that play 10 times and maybe not get the exact type of thing, because it's like if the guy touches him first on the punch, if he hits the guy or whatever and he's on the ground, then technically yes. And if the ball is part of the person, right? I get if that's what we're saying, then he's on the ground and he's down. He's down when you touch him. He's down. It's almost like the goal line plane, the invisible plane, right? When you're crossing it, it's like if you touch him, he's immediately down. You can't take into account what's happened after that. You have to sort of like blank your mind. But it reminded me a little bit of the old touchception that we saw several years ago, where it was a catch and an interception at the same time in the end zone, and they had to make this horrible, like tough ruling. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's one of those ones where I feel like that's just a bang bang thing that's rarely going to happen like that, where he's on the ground, and then obviously it's different in college, where if you touch the ground, even if you're not touched, you're down. NFL, you have to be touched. So tough deal.
Yeah, no kidding. Nick Baumgartner with us on Sports 1440. So here we go, week number 2, starting with Washington and Green Bay tomorrow. Nick, what do you think of the Packers? Again, you touched on it with the Lions, but to come out at 1-0 and facing a pretty good team here in Washington, but Green Bay's looking pretty good so far.
They look great, and I think that the energy Micah Parsons brought to them right at that time, like a week and a half, whatever it was, before the start of the season. They've all talked about it. The players, the staffers have talked about it. Like they all rose up another level when he got to the team, because Green Bay was already a playoff contender, a division title contender, maybe an outside Super Bowl contender, depending on how kind of Jordan Love plays. But when you get a guy like Parsons to come in, now you're a Super Bowl contender, full stop. And I think everybody on the team senses that. So you could see it. Everybody on the team ramped it up. They played really well up front on the offensive line, and their pass rush with Rashawn Gary and Micah and now Lucas Van Ness, who's getting a lot better as well, could be maybe the best in the NFL. So to me, after week 1, Green Bay looks like the class of the NFC North, and it's going to be a challenge for everybody in that division. And there's some talent in there to handle all this, because Micah is just a huge difference maker. That is no Christmas cards to Jerry Jones from the NFC North this year, because that's changed some things for sure. And Green Bay looks really, really good right now.
Yeah, you got that right. Is the game of the week Philadelphia and KC, Nick? And if it's not, I don't know which one is, but what are you looking for in that one?
Yeah, the only other one that I would argue would be that one we just said, Green Bay and Washington. I think that's going to be really good too. But yeah, I think Kansas City and Philly still feel like the class of the league. Even when they're not playing perfect football, they're still really, really hard to deal with on every instance. So excited to see how that goes out. And but also excited for tomorrow night. I think that'll be a really good game as well. Bears Lions will be good. Ben Johnson going back to Detroit. That'll be fun too. So off we go. Another fun one.
Yeah, I mean, here the Chiefs here. I mean, you think 15 wins, they could have 2 losses after 2 weeks, the same as last year. Which is crazy to think.
But you still can't count them out, right? It's like if they do that, you're still kind of like, well, they could get it circled back. But they're another team too and they've done a better job than the 49ers, where they've got to they're going to have to replace guys as they get older and kind of do it on the fly. And they have done a pretty good job of that. So I just think the culture there is just so good. I think that's what Philly has that too. Mentally, they have an advantage against everybody they play, and it's hard to beat them.
Yeah, and Jalen Carter's going to be back.
Hopefully.
How they like? It's funny how they word it. Well, you were suspended at that game, so we'll call that as the 1-game suspension.
Right. Well, yeah, he got suspended before the first play. We'll
call that for the 1-game suspension. I think I think he's obviously a key part of the Philadelphia defense.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think of how he reacts to what happened in week 1 going into week 2 here?
Well, I mean, on talent alone, the only other guy that can argue this would be Micah Parsons. Jalen Carter on talent alone is the best defender in the NFL, other than maybe Micah and maybe Myles Garrett. But you saw why half the league didn't want to take him, in the top 10, where it was like, if you don't have the culture that you feel like can surround him and help him, it's going to be a disaster. And he's got to grow up, period. End of story. If he doesn't grow up, it's going to be a huge waste. But we saw last year, late in the season, during the playoffs, how dominant he was. When he wants to play, he is absolutely dominant. So he's got to calm down. He's got to grow up. And, at this point, it's not on Philly. That's on him. He's got to do it. It's just a matter of, he's been around long enough now. He's got to grow up.
Hey, Nick, as always, good chatting with you. Appreciate it. Enjoy week number 2, starting off tomorrow with, as you say, your number 2, maybe even your number 1 game of the week. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, Kev. Anytime.
That's Nick Baumgartner from The Athletic, covers the NFL. And if you want to check out his article, just with quarterbacks looking for rankings, ratings, performances so far after, yes, it's only 2 games, but check out his article on The Athletic, because it's pretty in-depth, and it gives you quite a few little intricacies of performances, in the sense of even little things like passes off target rate, little things like that, where so critical when you make that step from college football to the NFL. That's a big, big stat that scouts, teams, coaches, GMs look at, because everyone knows the game's so much faster at the pro level. The players are so much better. That's a key stat for a lot of quarterbacks. When we come back, we'll get to some of your texts, 833-401-1440, and maybe check in with one of the interviews I did yesterday down at Commonwealth Stadium as the Edmonton Elks get ready for their next game Saturday in Toronto against the Argonauts. The Elks, by the way, are going to leave tomorrow. They're going to leave tomorrow, a later flight, get in late Thursday night, have a good walkthrough and a day on Friday, and then it's a 1 o'clock game, our time, so 3 o'clock Eastern on Saturday. And that's all coming up on the Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne on Sports 1440 and streaming on YouTube. Looking for an all-season vehicle with room for the hockey gear, comfort for the daily commute, and rugged capability for your weekend adventures? That's the all-new 2025 Jeep Compass, and you'll find it during the biggest sale of the year this month.
Well, Cody, let's go back.
Now, what can I say? It's a Jeep. It's a 4x4, and it's loaded with standard features like an 8.4-inch touch screen, keyless entry, and heated front seats. All starting from just $34,900. Head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
Seriously, another door knocker? I really want to go solar, but these high-pressure tactics are exhausting.
And their prices are unbelievable. Before we do anything, let's call Great Canadian Solar.
There's a better way to go solar. Great Canadian Solar provides honest advice and fair pricing to save you from overpaying. They're easy to deal with and will never put pressure on you to buy. As a trusted local business for over 15 years, Great Canadian Solar will support you in your solar journey. Visit GreatCanadianSolar.com and call today to get started.
You wanted local sports on weekends. Saturday mornings at 9, check out the Saturday Sports Setup, where we'll tee up what's happening on the weekend sports scene. Tune in Saturday morning at 9 on Sports 1440.
At Fountain Tire, we're fluent in saving you money. Fluent? Yes, we've mastered the language of deals. Like right now, you can save up to 25% off select tires and up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires. Plus, $50 off $150 service when you buy those tires. All until October 18th.
I'm sorry, I don't speak deals.
Spend less, save more when you buy Round Black things from us.
Oh, got it.
Restrictions apply. Book your appointment online today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Heard of Uline? You know, the have-it-all in-stock, ready-to-deliver shipping and industrial supply specialists. The company that does things for you that are unheard of.
Coach,
like keeping 41,000 items in stock in our own warehouses. With customer service reps on the line to get you what you need, when you need it, 24/7, 365 every time. Maybe you heard it here first. Want to hear more? Visit uline.ca. ULINE, your shipping and industrial supply specialists.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it. Good luck against the Argos.
Did you hear what happened to Aiden?
Oh, yeah. It's heartbreaking.
Everyone knew this could happen. They've been posting those street races for months.
I know, right? Now his best friend is in the ICU. His family is devastated. All for some likes.
Totally wasn't worth it.
Street racing is deadly. Stop it before it stops you. A message from the government of Alberta.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 740 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne with you. On Sports 1440, Josh Fenwick and Sam the Intern running the show on YouTube, Sports 1440 AM, YouTube. Give us a click, give us a like, do it all. I mean, that's what it's all about. And old Joshy boys had some technical problems this morning. He still got them, but he is working hard, diligently at things right now to get things rocking and rolling. I believe we're down to maybe one camera, maybe two. I don't even know what's going on in here. Text line 833-401-1440. This is from Brian Fan. Brian Fan. We're talking about the kickoff return uptick in the NFL. It's in week one, it was the highest return rate, somewhere around 75, 76%, the highest since in 15 years. Brian Fan texts in and says, boy, the NFL would be good for the Giz. Henry Williams. So for several years, I've been banging this drum. No one listens, obviously. But Henry Gizmo Williams should be in Canton, Ohio. He should be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It's the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It's not the NFL Hall of Fame. Similar in Toronto. It's not the NHL Hall of Fame. It's the Hockey Hall of Fame. Gizmo Williams deserves to be in Canton, Ohio. Why? Well, most all-purpose yards in pro football history, almost 24,000 yards. 335 kickoff returns. These are all Canadian Football League records. Yards, 7,354. Punt returns, 11,177 yards career. In a season, he had 1,440 one year, 91. Most punt return touchdowns career, 26. He had more called back than he had returned touchdowns. He had 5 in one season. Again, 24,000 all-purpose yards. Henry Gizmo Williams, again, my estimation, maybe our listeners would disagree, but it's the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He deserves to be in there. What do you think? 833-401-1440. We'll get to some of those texts, maybe a response. What do you think? I get it. I know it's NFL. I know it's NFL. Same with Doug Flutie. It's Pro Football Hall of Fame. Yesterday at Elks practice, I had a chance to sit down with a couple of players. Well, just one player, one coach, pardon me. We'll get to Cody Fajardo as the morning progresses. But here's what head coach Mark Killam had to say yesterday.
Coach, just running back to Saturday night. First, just with the atmosphere in the building, I said on Monday with Eddie Steele that it's probably been 10 years since I've kind of felt that emotion. I know it's your first year as head man here, but I mean, that was pretty electric in there.
It was amazing. I had said it previously, even some of the crowds we had before, really loud when they're supposed to be super knowledgeable, and then to pack that place like we did and to be able to look up and even see people in the upper deck, I mean, it was special. And as a group, we're just going to try to keep putting a good product on the field so that we can have more of those crowds.
What kind of jump, what kind of a lift did it give the team, do you think?
I think it gave us a huge lift. I think when you make a play and you feel everybody getting up off their seats and you feel that energy and you feel the screams. I mean, I just got chills talking about that right there. I mean, I think it's really special. I think the fans have been wanting to cheer for something for a long time for us in that stadium, and we want to feel more of that.
Why do you think the game plan worked so much more efficiently second game as opposed to the first game in Calgary?
I thought we were more physical in the second game. I think to a man, I think, they kind of took it to us a little bit. Like we got beat in Calgary and, I think the football team took that personally and, everybody across the board stepped up.
I think even a guy like Noah Taylor said that was a message that you guys from the coaching staff, and not just that, but the players themselves felt that. Where's that responsibility come? Is it a leadership group, core leaders, players themselves to make sure that they're ready to answer the bell in round two?
Yeah, I mean, I think it 100% starts with the leadership group. I think we've got a great one. I think the men in the room, they believe in what we're doing and they believe in practicing well and that contributing into the game. And I think, they know when we have that level of commitment that we're a tough group to beat.
Everyone says football is the ultimate team game, but when you see an individual performance like, Justin Rankin, over 200 yards on the 16 carries, what did that mean to you?
Well, I mean, it meant everything to our football team. The guy is he's a weapon. He's ultra explosive. He brings energy into the building every day, just in his personality. He elevates not only your schemes, he elevates the players around him. And that's what great players do. And, we're lucky to have him.
I couldn't believe it was 1977, 90 yards, Jim Germany, to have a rushing touchdown from that length. What do you think the group fed off from that performance?
I mean, like up until that point, it was kind of, we're battling and then, it kind of blew it open a little bit. And then the belief takes over that, hey, we can do this against anybody, and we're going to continue to do that.
You bring in 3 new guys today. How much do you know about them, and how do you integrate them here, as the practices move forward this week?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know much about them. I know that our personnel department's high on them. We're just going to get them rolling out here, get them used to the terminology, and then we'll start getting them some reps. And then, it's a good opportunity for them to see what we're about. We see what they're about, and then we see if they can fit into our future plans.
What have you seen from Toronto here? I mean, these guys, it seemed like, I know the quarterback right now, Arbuckle's been out just lights out, but what have you seen from them offensively here?
Yeah, I mean, I think Nick Arbuckle is an extension of Ryan Dinwiddie. I think that he knows exactly what the concepts are trying to accomplish against any given look. And I think that's why they've been so efficient on offense. I think, and now they're running the ball. Spencer Brown's doing a great job running the football. I mean, their defense, they take the ball away, and, on special teams, they've got Jadarian Grant. So they're a good football team that knows how to win, and it's going to be a tough battle.
When you look at trying to keep this momentum going for your team, what's the message, I guess, as the week progresses?
Well, I'm not going to give you all our secrets, but, we want to continue. We want our arrow to continue to be on the rise. So I think, we're trying to build on the things that we think are positive, that we believe in. We're going to try to practice the right way and then try to bring, the lessons that we've learned into this next game. And I think it's going to be a good one.
How impressed were you with the guys that came in? Because starting to get a little banged up, a couple injuries here and there, but the guys that came in on Saturday and did the job.
Yeah, I mean, it's a total credit to them. We preach all the time about making the most of your opportunity, but, we do a good job in practice of getting some guys reps and trying to distribute that across the board a little bit. And those guys took advantage of the opportunity that they were given, and the result was what it was.
Yeah, things going good here. All we got to do is get the Golden Bears going, huh?
Hey, I have faith in what they're doing down there. They'll get it going.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it. Good luck against the Argos.
Thank you.
Mark Killam yesterday following practice again. It was at Clark because of the Morgan Wallen. It is a gong show down there. Duke, I know you're going to the concert on Saturday. I thought of you right away. I was going to take a couple pictures because of the amount of semi tractor trailers that were down there.
Big operation. Hey?
Well, and this was never got near Commonwealth, never got near it.
Mm-hmm.
So all of this was in the Clark parking lot, where then they would move stuff over and things, right? So never even got close to seeing what was going on at Commonwealth. But, so it's going to be a big to-do.
Should be. Yeah, I fell backwards into a ticket going with some friends and things.
Did they
Should be a good time.
Did your buddies purchase this ticket for you?
No.
Oh.
No, this was a instance of The wedding I was at a couple weekends ago, my best friend, him and some of his sisters and their significant others, they were all going as like almost a little family ordeal. But the one sister had recently separated from her boyfriend. And so they had the extra tickets. So they know I live in the city. Pretty easy. Figured I'd be a quick in. And I was.
Where's this ticket situated in the building?
That I don't know. I know the sister that bought the tickets and her husband, they have better seats than the rest of us, but the rest of us are all sitting together. I don't know where that is. Frankly, I don't really care. I'll be able to hear the music regardless. To me, that's the important thing, Kevin. I'm there for the music, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was at the Police. That's the last one I was there, the Police concert. It's a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was packed and it was 25, 30 above, maybe. No, I was into the 30s. That's how hot it was. And I think there was 60 some thousand.
Yeah, I went to Luke Combs, not last summer, the one previous, I think it was, when he played at Commonwealth with Lainey Wilson was one of the opening acts. And it was a beautiful night. Like, it was hot and we were on the east side. So until the sun kind of slunk down over the west bleachers, like, it was cooking inside the stadium. But then after that, like, it's nighttime, right? So, and we talk about this so much about, wanting to get the full crowds back into Commonwealth for the Elks games and things. Man, when you see when it is full for concerts, yeah, it's cool and it's loud and it's raucous, but the facilities are not built to handle it. You cannot move on the concourse.
No,
it is a mob of people that you can't even wade through. The concession lines, the bathroom lines, none of them are really fit to handle 50 to 60,000 people.
And it's been like that since 1977.
Yeah.
That's the simple fact. And that's the way it has been.
So I would put, and then obviously we already know about how difficult it is to get in and around Commonwealth and Park and everything when there's only 20,000 people going to an Elks game. Dial that up times 3 for events like this. I'm thinking a Uber will be in my plans next, or is that this weekend already? Wow, sneaks up on a guy.
Are you going to make her in for Monday, Duke?
Oh yeah, yeah, Kev. I'm a consummate professional.
Yeah, but but you know what? Again, now you got Sunday, you got football all day, right? Just
veg out on the couch, and then another big Tropics game Sunday night. See if we can keep the perfect season intact. This bruise on my leg is I'm almost tempted just to show it to you, Kevin. I'll just drop drawer right here in the studio. It is so large and so purple.
Take a picture.
And it was all sacrificing the body for the good of the team.
Attaboy.
That's what I'm all about.
Bad Captain texts in, Pink Floyd back in the day at Commonwealth was amazing. Well, when I was at the Police, it was a great concert, but I was pretty bombed. And I honestly thought there were some people that were police officers that weren't. How does that sound? Because of the lanyards. Just leave it at that. Greg says, we got to see Morgan Wallen at Big Valley. In my opinion, he's overrated, Duke.
Ooh. I mean, it's define overrated because he is arguably the biggest, not just country musician, but one of the largest just musicians, period, in the entire world. So if you go in there expecting to see the Beatles, or what was it, Queen at the AIDS relief concert, I don't think you're going to get that, but he has a reputation as a great entertainer. I don't know who the opening acts are, but he usually trails along some pretty good ones with them. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It'll be a good night out.
And we'll see Connor McDavid there. He'll be on stage.
I would expect, because one of Morgan Wallen's big things are the walkout videos. And usually wherever he's playing his concert, he gets a pretty substantial local celebrity to be involved with the walkout. Peyton Manning was his guy when he kind of played his hometown show at Nyland Stadium in Knoxville. I believe... Jose Bautista walked out with him in Toronto last weekend. So I would be very surprised if one of or both Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl weren't involved with the walkout for these shows.
Few texts in about, I was saying earlier, I think Gizmo Williams should be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Walter says no. Kenny Cluse says yes. Brian obviously said yes. I'll throw this one at you, Duke. Do you know who gave Henry Williams his nickname Gizmo?
I do not have a sniff, Kevin.
The guy that gave him his nickname would be regarded as one of the, if not the greatest pass rushers in NFL history.
Lawrence Taylor?
No, it's close, but Reggie White.
Yeah. Really?
Reggie White. They were playing together after Gizmo came out of East Carolina University, and they went down to the USFL with the Memphis Showboats. And that's Reggie signed, obviously, the big contract down there, and he nicknamed him Gizmo. And Gizmo played a half season with the Philadelphia Eagles as well. The numbers are there. I don't know how the heck it would ever happen. I don't think it would ever happen, but the numbers are there. And again, it's not the NFL Hall of Fame. It's the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Top of the hour, we got Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet. We'll also check in with Pete Jensen from NHL.com, go around the league, maybe go back to yesterday's big contract signing in Calgary with Dustin Wolf. David Schlemko will check in, the former NHLer and our co-host from 9 to 11 for Cougar Paint and Collision. We got Will Holen, PGA Tour America's player. Once again, things get underway. Well, they've been going on all week at Northern Bear, but the ATB Classic tees off tomorrow at Northern Bear, round number 1. The Duke will be at the Sleeman Birdie Bar on Friday to check things out. Should be lots of fun. And then we got Jordan Hall from NBCS covering the Philadelphia Flyers. That's coming up in the 10 o'clock hour. Before all that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Nectar.io, transforming field data into boardroom insights. Nectar.io is the all-in-one solution for your fleet, safety, time tracking, and materials management needs. Nectar.io, your business made better. Here is the Duke.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Toronto Blue Jays yet again come from behind to win last night. They topped the Astros 4-3 from Rogers Center. George Springer homering in the victory. Miles Straw with the walk-off single in the bottom of the 10th. Elsewhere around the majors, the Yankees bullpen implodes. They lose to the Tigers 12-2. Rays, they get a much-needed win over the White Sox 5-4. Phillies over the Mets 9-3. Kyle Schwarber hitting his 50th home run of the season in that one. Brewers come up short against the Rangers 5-4. Mariners beat the Cardinals 5-3. And the Red Sox, they blanked the Athletics 6-0. Team Canada in preparation for next summer's World Cup in Swansea, taking on Wales. They win 1-0 off a Derek Cornelius goal. Coming up in hour 2 of the Kevin Karius Show, we'll be joined by Sportsnet's Mark Spector as well as Pete Jensen from NHL.com. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Today on Hey Culligan, how smart is your water? Here's Tracy.
Hey, Culligan. I think my water might be dumb.
Good news, Tracy. Your water's not dumb. It's just not talking to you.
You can make my water talk.
No, but the new Culligan Smart Drinking Water System can talk to your phone to tell you when your water filters need changing and help you meet drinking water goals.
Now that's some brilliant H2O.
You said it, Tracy, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test from a local Culligan water expert at Culligan.ca.
$1 plus tax for a smooth, small premium roast coffee at McDonald's? That means rich, full-bodied flavor at a price that's just as satisfying. Must be McCafe. Enjoy a small McCafe premium roast coffee for just $1 plus tax at participating McDonald's in Canada. Prices exclude delivery.
It's the Brick's famous tent sale. Save up to 60% off clearance items in the tent and store, with more amazing deals arriving daily in every department. Like up to $1,800 off power reclining sectionals and up to $700 off big screen TVs. Buy more, save more.
now for On the Mark, brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. In September, Northgate is helping feed families. For every truck sold, they will feed a family of 4. Farmers also and small business owners get preferred rates in September. That's at Northgate. This truck's for you as we welcome in Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet. How was your little trip to Northgate yesterday, Spec?
Oh, it was outstanding. Yeah, drove in a little GMC Terrain. Nice SUV for a guy that's been driving a truck for a long time. It's kind of a pleasant change to drive something a little smaller around the city once in a while.
I don't
Nice
see
truck.
you as a truck guy, Spec. I'm sorry.
I know. I've been in a truck now for, oh boy, at least 15 years or more.
I still don't see it.
You don't, eh?
No, I don't. I mean, I see you in like a 74 Gremlin, something like that. I don't know.
74 Gremlin. My first car ever was a 75 Honda Civic, but
Really?
I think I've outgrown it.
Well, I'm assuming it wasn't brand new, and I bet you probably put about 500K on it.
Oh yeah, no, it was not brand new.
Yeah.
You know, a guy buys his first car. What was I, 17 years old?
You know, do you remember how much it was?
$1,500. I worked at Laurier Park Esso. I was what they call a petroleum transfer engineer at a young age.
Yeah.
Which is basically pumping gas. And the mechanic there was a really smart, good mechanic that I trusted, and he was turning cars over. So he sold me a little Honda Civic.
Yeah.
And I saved up my money. Remember those little round Civics, the first ones that came out?
Oh, yeah.
They don't exist anymore. Like, you don't even see one in a wrecker's yard, or you don't see someone restored. Like, they're rusted out and gone. I don't think there's one of them roaming the earth anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But they were good for a while. They were nice little cars. They were cheap to run. And learned how to drive a stick with one of those. And there you go, man. Got my first couple of speeding tickets with a little Honda Civic. Fond memories, Kev. Fond memories.
Well, remember, was it a Honda Civic? It was some sort of, it might be a Toyota, but old Elmer Benning had, he was a million miler?
Yeah, he had a Camry.
Toyota Camry.
Yeah, he came in the rink one day and he says, I said, "You look sour, Elmer." He goes, "I am sour." He says, "I tried to trade my Toyota in today. They wouldn't give me $1 for it." And I go, "They wouldn't give me $1 for it? How many kilometers on it?" He goes, 1 million.
Oh, man. We're talking about Elmer Benning. He was a scout for the Montreal Canadiens. And he was a guy, I think, that when it was Carey Price, when they were drafting Carey Price,
he
said
he gets credit for spotting Carey Price.
Yeah.
He does.
I think he also said,
among
if you're not
others.
drafting Carey Price, I'm leaving, something like that.
Well, he basically pointed their whole organization towards him and put his reputation on the line. And when Elmer Benning could find a young hockey player, like my dad used to say, he could find him in a ditch. Like, this guy knew hockey. He could spot a guy from 20 miles away. So Elmer was a fantastic old guy, and he covered Western Canada in that Camry, put 1 million K on the thing.
Man.
And in every rink he went to, they opened the door for Elmer Benning, that's for sure.
Yeah, and then, sons, Brian, Jim, grandsons, Matt, Michael,
Mark.
Mark, hell of a family, hell of a hockey family for sure.
Oh, yeah, one of the great Edmonton hockey families, right? No question about it.
And Brian is, when you talk about storytellers from the NHL, maybe one of the very best.
Well, we've all learned, like, I remember being at a junior game one time in, I think maybe Swift or something. I was out doing stories, and Lauren Davis walked in.
Yes.
And at those junior games, like, at the NHL games, they have a pre-press meal, pre-game meal, and the scouts and whoever's in town will eat there, and they charge you whatever they charge you, $15, $20, get a nice meal. But in the junior rink, they basically they have lineups and Tim Hortons donuts. Often, like, this is going back, Tim Hortons donuts and a jug of coffee, and all the scouts who were there would come get their lineup, have a coffee. And when Lauren Davis walked in and sat down, everybody just gravitated to Lauren's side of the room, and he started holding court. I mean, those old guys, Lauren Davis, Elmer Benning, now I'm Tommy McVie. There's so many of those old scouts I've got to know, and their stories are just golden, man. Those are the guys you want to have a pregame press meal with. Jerry O'Flaherty and, oh my God, there's just so many of them. So that's where hockey starts. Like those old guys, man, they'll take you back to stories from the 50s. Guys like Bill, when he comes on your show, like how much fun is he?
Yeah. Well, I first met Lauren Davis in 75, 74, Spec. He used to run a hockey school because he lived in Regina, and he ran the hockey school in Fort Qu'Appelle, Saskatchewan.
Oh, yeah.
So we would go to that hockey school for a couple of weeks every year.
For Lauren Davis'
Lauren
school.
Davis,
Well, all
yep.
those guys back then, like, you know, in the old days, they didn't make much money. Like there's the famous story about Tony Esposito didn't want to play in 72 in the Canada Cup Series, and a bunch of guys didn't because it interrupted their hockey schools.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they didn't make that much money in the NHL, and they needed those schools in the summer, and they counted on them. And Phil had to talk Tony out of walking away from his school and letting someone else run it to come play in the 72 series.
Mm-hmm.
And it ended up being obviously something you didn't want to miss, but before it started, they were going to miss the 72 series and run their hockey school.
Yeah. Mark Spector with us on Sports 1440. You know, all the media tour with the players in Vegas and all that stuff. It's kind of the last hurrah before we get things rolling. We had Josh Yohe from The Athletic on out of Pittsburgh yesterday. A lot of talk with Sid Crosby and, you know, Agent Pat Brisson, all that kind of thing. Is there anything catching your eye here, Spec, as we go into, obviously, rookie camps this week and then main camps next week around the league?
Well, a couple things. I mean, I heard, was it Jack Hughes that they were talking to yesterday? And he was asked flat out, do you ever talk to Quinn Hughes about playing together? And, you know, in these days of tampering and all that, most guys would give you a boring answer and try to talk around the subject. But Hughes said, oh, yeah. He says, I would love to play with my brother, whether it's in New Jersey or wherever it is. We want to play together.
Yeah.
And he says they talk about it in Vancouver every single day, and they do. But I thought that was interesting. Like, that's a real thing, those Hughes brothers. They do want to play together one day. And I guess I'd say to you, if I'm a Vancouver Canucks fan, I don't love the sound of that. I got to say, I don't love the sound of it. But that's a real thing. And the other one was, you know, they were talking, I think Pierre LeBrun was talking to Sid Crosby about, you know, the hope and prayer is he'll come back one day and finish his career for the team he grew up cheering for, the Montreal Canadiens. And that kind of reminds me, like, let's face it, Kev, Sid Crosby is Connor McDavid in like 10 years, right?
Yeah.
You know, he's an aging player. He doesn't have that much time left. He's a beloved superstar who's played his entire career in one uniform, and his team's no good. Like that Pittsburgh team, they are not going to get him even in the playoff, let alone a Stanley Cup chance. And it's a bit of a crossroads late in Sid's career. You know, he's a loyal guy who wants to play his whole career as a Penguin, but you just want to lose out the rest of your career. Like that's a tough one.
And for me, and I think I discussed this with you several months ago, and I even brought it up with Josh yesterday, you know, maybe this year's a little bit different because the Olympics are right in the middle of the season for Sid. And that's what he's looking forward to. He's looking forward to the Olympics more so than the season.
Well, I would bet he is, sure. Like, listen, they're in full, like that. Again, Pittsburgh, just not a good team. And yes, I would think if I'm Sid, it's the Olympics that's really got me pumped up for the season. And you know, like it's just an interesting dynamic. Like, what's the old saying? If you love someone, let them go. I think that the city of Pittsburgh and Pittsburgh fans, most of them anyway, if Sid said, look, like this rebuild is going to outlast my career. I can't do this in Pittsburgh. You know, trade me to Montreal. I think most people would totally understand that, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I agree. But again, it's, they're protective. Fans are protective. You know, it's happened for years and years, no matter who it is, right? And they want to see that player with that team as long as they possibly can. It's changed. Everyone knows the landscape has changed as far as the cap and things like that. But, go back to the guys like, Raymond Bourque and, when he left Boston and things like that. I mean, it was crazy back then.
Well, Ray Bourque won a cup at least in Colorado, but it doesn't always work out. Like Jerome McGinley flipped around to a few teams and never won a cup.
Yeah.
Marian Hossa picked the wrong team for a while until he finally settled in Chicago and started winning. Wayne Gretzky never won a cup after he left Edmonton.
Smitty.
So, Smitty, how that didn't work great for Smitty. He ended up coming back. And anyway, the point is there are no guarantees, but here is a guarantee. Pittsburgh's not a good team. They're nowhere close to winning.
Mm-hmm.
So I can almost guarantee you that Sid's chance of getting and playing meaningful playoff games in the rest of his career, they're a far higher percentage in some other city than in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
And maybe, when he could have got more money than what he's at.
Money. He's never been a money
You know
guy.
what I'm saying, Spec? Like now that contract, if something happens, it's a tradable contract. It's not like an Eric Carlson was.
He's still making 8.9, right?
Sid is 8.7. Yeah, always been 8.7.
8.7. I'm sorry, 8.7. That's his number. That's how you're supposed to remember. So for sure, 8.7 for Sid Crosby. Like, hello.
Yeah.
You'd fit that in, and you'd figure out a way.
Yesterday we talked a fair bit about Dustin Wolf and everything. Over the course of the day, did you hear anything more, or did you kind of look at it a little bit more? Because it basically broke right when we were on the air, just right before you at like 10 to 8 or so.
Yeah, I listened to some people talk and stuff, and I just feel like Craig Conroy's got to start building something real down there.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Flames they've been muddling around for 40 years here. They're the 7th, 8th, or 9th best team in the West, and they don't win playoff rounds. They got to build something. And if I'm going to plant a stake in the ground here, if I'm going to establish a pillar in my program in Calgary, why not Dustin Wolf? Like, he's the most important position. He's clearly shown there's a ton of promise here. He's two-time AHL goalie of the year, came in the NHL and looked great last year. Like, why not? And frankly, if he turns out to be as good as a lot of people think, that's going to be a fantastic number, 7.5 for a superior goaltender. And you start there. At least every free agent you look at now, you can say, look, we got some room to grow. We got some things we got to do, but we got a goalie. And having a goalie, don't have to tell listeners out there, having a goalie, that's a big part of it.
Yeah. So I guess we got Oilers rookie camp starting tomorrow here, Spec.
Yeah, are you going in for the physical testing?
Today I'm going in. I was on K97 this morning, my usual 6:45 hit, and Terry Evans asked me that actually if I was going to do the VO2 max.
Yeah. And have you ever done one of those?
No, I would never even think about doing it at this. I would have entertained it, Spec, maybe. Yeah. Even 15 years ago, I would have tried it, but not anymore.
So when I was a young reporter, I did the training camp. I did part of the physical for the Edmonton Journal. So I'm telling you, it would have been around 1991, which put me at about, 28.
Mm-hmm.
So I went in, did the VO2, there was a sit-ups thing. There was a bunch of stuff. And, I got myself in as good a shape as a sports writer is going to get in. But the VO2 was the main one. Like, you get on that bike and you bike to exhaustion, right? And the minute they have all these athletic trainers around, they're cheering for you. Kenny Lowe had me printed up, like the little shorts with my, how they had the number, and they had MS on them, and I had a T-shirt and everything. It was awesome. And anyway, I did it, and then put it up against some of the rookies, and I was way down at the bottom. I did have a better VO2 than like 4 or 5 guys. And one of the players said to me, "Oh man, I wouldn't want to be below you on that list."
Well, what did they think you were? They thought you were the paper lion, George Plimpton, or what?
Yeah, no, I never put on a pair of skates. I never went on the ice. I would have loved to have done that back in the day, but it was fun. It was fun. It was a nice story. We had a bunch of laughs. The rookies are all looking at you like, "Who the hell are you?" But you know what? It was fun. If you've ever done that VO2 max, like, it is something to bike to complete exhaustion, so you just cannot pedal anymore. It's a good experience.
Well, I can tell you, Spec, I'm not going to say his name, but I just started skating again here the last 3 weeks or so. And there's a young guy that he's been drafted, and he's going to be trying out for, I'm just going to say, an AHL team here. And so he's been out just to kind of make sure that he's skating every day. And so he probably flew by me as many times as possible. And I mean, my neck was sore already, and it's just, it's on another level here. So,
oh, come on. I mean, the kids, almost 40 years younger than you.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah.
Anyway, but it was fun to watch because just the pure speed, and this guy's was really, he was fast, he's big, he's strong, can handle a puck. The one thing these guys, and I know it's just like it's a stupid little pickup game, and there's been other guys that have come out that are trying out and are good players. Every shot is high and off the glass, and I'm like, man, you got to bury these at these stupid little pickup games. Never mind trying to rip it off the glass. They're just, everyone's high and a foot over the crossbar all the time.
And they shoot it now. Like these young guys, they shoot the puck now.
Mm-hmm.
We can remember a time, even in the NHL, Kevin, where we would laugh that some guys didn't have a good shot. And, what did McTee used to say about Smitty? You could read Gary Bettman's signature in the puck when he shot it.
Yeah. The other one was, you could read Czechoslovakia on the side. Made in Czechoslovakia.
Made in Czechoslovakia. Yeah.
Oh, boy. All right, Spec. Well, here we go. It starts up tomorrow. I don't think I'll get down there in time. It'll be long gone before it was at 9:30 tomorrow or 9?
Something like that. I forget, but it's first thing in the morning. Yes, sir.
All right. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right.
Thanks, Spec. That's Mark Spector, Rogers Sportsnet on the Mark, fueled by Northgate Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC. Check them out. This truck's for you. When we come back, we'll continue our NHL conversation with Pete Jensen from NHL.com. That's coming up on the Kevin Carey Show on Sports 1440, and we're streaming on YouTube.
September, back to class and back to carting the kids around. Good news. Until the end of the month at Wolf GMC Buick, get GMC employee pricing on all remaining 2025 GMC Sierras, so you'll have loads of room. Plus, get 0% financing on Sierra light-duty crew cabs. If you're eyeing up an SUV, we have the completely redesigned GMC Terrain and our entire Buick family with incredible prices. And Costco members up to $1,200 additional off the price. Come see us, corner of 184th Street and Stony Plain Road. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 25% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until October 18th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Edmonton's only 24-hour-a-day sports radio station can be heard anytime, anywhere. Sports 1440 is streaming on your phone, your tablet, your computer. Download an app today and listen to Sports 1440.
Wow, get ready for a silly hockey fan. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice. EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the Power Play 24/7 365. UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking. Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service. Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project. Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Is your company drowning in paperwork and administrative tasks? Do you need more data to make better decisions? Nectar.io is your company's all-in-one solution for fleet and materials management, safety, time cards, and GIS-based project management. Now is the time to capture and transform field, site, and shop data into boardroom-level business intelligence, all with one login. Visit Nectar.io to book a demo today. Nectar.io, your business made better.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 8:21 in Edmonton, and time now for the headliner of the day, brought to you by Mr. Rooter Plumbing, draining clogged pipes like three-pointers. For all your plumbing needs, go to mrrooter.ca. As we welcome back Pete Jensen from NHL.com. Morning, Pete. You're with Kevin Karius once again. Thanks for jumping on Sports 1440. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course, guys. Great to be on with you. And the Oilers, of course, have made their mark over the past couple of seasons, reaching the Cup final, and have a nice trajectory for this season despite a ton of off-season turnover.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, let's start there. Where do you see this trajectory going here, Pete, with this turnover and some new faces coming in?
So we have Vegas projected for the most wins on NHL.com's goalie team win projections with 50. The Oilers just a step below at 48, similar to what they were at last season. I think possible integration of Isaac Howard and Matthew Savoy could be either or both of those guys could be a good thing for this team's ceiling. We've seen what they've done through the years with this core of players, McDavid, Draisaitl, Hyman, who's dealing with some injury concern entering the season, and Nugent Hopkins. Stuart Skinner and Pickard, both decent options, neither of which I would flock to in a fantasy draft. But if you can get either of those guys really late, based on where they've, where they project, I think each of those guys projects for at least 20 wins, and we have Skinner for a shade under 30 wins just because he's been there before.
When you look at Zach Hyman, you mentioned we're not sure how and when he is available, but if he were available for the start, would you say, Pete, that either one of Matt Savoy or Ike Howard would not be able to start the season? But with the situation with Hyman, is there room for both to start, do you think?
We'll see. I feel like Ike Howard is the guy that a lot of people are calling a rookie sleeper for fantasy. I'm not sure where he's going to finish in the Calder race, but coming off his successful season in college with Michigan State and, at the top of the NCAA point leaders and everything like that last season, I feel like the upside is fresher with him. I still think that getting Savoy for what they gave up last season was an absolute steal, and I'm excited about his prospects for the long term. But I feel like Howard's maybe a little bit more of close to a finished product as a rookie prospect, and I think that he could make more of an immediate impact. So if I were to pick one of the two, especially with Edmonton's depth at center, I think that I would pick Isaac Howard to make a quicker impact this season and have a better chance to make the roster.
Pete Jensen, NHL.com, handles all things edge stats, fantasy, things like that. What about deep sleeper on an Oilers? Would a guy like David Tomashek fall into that category?
Yeah, I think so. I think that, I think we saw a scratch of the surface for Jake Wallman last year. There's also Calvin Pickard, who I mentioned earlier. Like if something goes wrong with Stuart Skinner, which we've seen that fluctuation in his value and regular season and playoffs, I think that's a guy that you could definitely handcuff if you're drafting Skinner. I think that I mentioned Isaac Howard. I mentioned, some of these other guys. I think that the Oilers have some holes to fill, and also Vasily Podkolzin. We're calling him a breakout technically, but he's off the fantasy radar. I thought he had a really encouraging playoff. If he lands in the top 6, it feels like ancient history when he was with the Canucks, and I was really high on him. It didn't really pan out, but I think that the Oilers are giving him a much better opportunity and expanded usage over time compared to what he saw, where he was really buried and cast off to the AHL with the Canucks over the years.
Yeah, and the most recent article, I think it is one of the most recent on NHL.com, you and your staff, Pete, have Vasily Podkolzin is basically the number one guy as a breakout. What is it about him that you think that this is a season where he could match or maybe equal what he did back in Vancouver?
Yeah, I think he already has exceeded what he did in Vancouver. And you just look at what he brings in some of his edge stats, his speed. I think that, you look at what he did after the trade, he cast a full-time role for himself, and all these departures with Kane, Connor Brown, Corey Perry, Victor Arvidsson, Jeff Skinner. I think, with the 20+ mile per hour speed bursts, he was 93rd percentile among forwards. Top shot speed, 88th percentile among forwards. And that's a combination of the shot and the speed that gives him the versatility to make an impact. He's not a one-dimensional player. And I think that he was able to get his all-around game in order a little bit. And now the Oilers are starting to reward him with the offensive usage that could actually make more of an impact. And goes without saying, any exposure to Nugent Hopkins and Hyman and McDavid and Draisaitl, if we're talking about gravy, could be huge for his ceiling and what he could do this season in McDavid's contract year.
What about Evan Bouchard, Pete? I mean, he was a point-a-game guy 2 years ago, fell off a tiny bit last year. Does he get back to a point-a-game? Can he get to 20 goals? Can he get to 22?
Oh, yeah, he could get to 20 in a hurry. He's one of a handful of guys that's capable of something like that. We talk about Cale Makar, Brandon Montour. It's a very short list, and Bouchard is on it. He's one of the best in top shot speed and 90+ mile per hour speed shots attempts. So I think that's something that he has a rarity compared to the rest of the league, especially among defensemen. And then I think that when you look at keeper and dynasty leagues, Bouchard is still up there. I mean, he's about to turn 26. He's around our top 20 overall players among 25 and under players. And then if you look at defensemen, like we try to prioritize some younger guys there. But if you look at the top defensemen in our keeper and dynasty rankings on NHL.com/fantasy, you see Quinn Hughes at the top, Lane Hudson coming off that amazing season for the Canadiens. He has 75 point potential this year. Jake Sanderson, Luke Hughes. And then right after that is like Mo Sider, who brings elite category coverage, and Evan Bouchard. So he's like a fringe top 5 fantasy defenseman in all formats, whether you're taking age into account or not.
Pete Jensen, NHL.com, our guest on the Kevin Carey Show on Sports 1440. Who do you like for goaltenders, Pete, that you think might have a year that is going to exceed last year, maybe a breakout candidate too?
Sure. Yeah, there are a couple. I think the Anaheim Ducks could take the next step. They've built a nice young nucleus and now added some nice veterans with Granlund and Kreider. So, and now Gibson is gone to the Red Wings. So I think that Lucas Dostal is leading the breakout candidates at the goalie position this season. Other guys that come to mind with some sneaky value, Jet Greaves. Remember what he did for the Blue Jackets down the stretch, almost willing them to a playoff berth. They just missed, but that team's really strong. They quietly led the entire NHL in 5-on-5 goals last season. And some guys were not even healthy, right? With Monahan missing time and Boone Jenner missing time. So, yeah, I think that Jet Greaves could emerge past Elvis Merzlikins and be the full-time starter and a full-fledged breakout candidate this season for the Blue Jackets. And then you look at another workhorse guy like Dostal, I mentioned, already has proven he could play a ton of games. Same deal for Karol Vejmelka for the Utah Mammoth. He's the clear number one to me. And with how they got better in the offseason, adding JJ Peterka, adding Nate Schmidt, Utah quietly, they missed the playoffs last year, but they have one of the best young cores in the NHL. If you're talking about San Jose, Montreal, they're probably next on the list, in my opinion, in best young forward cores. And yeah, I think the addition of Nate Schmidt from the Cup champion Panthers should only benefit Karol Vejmelka to try to get Utah into the playoffs this year.
What about Mackenzie Blackwood, Pete, in Colorado?
Oh, he has a super high ceiling. And you look at what Colorado did last year. I know that they kind of flamed out in the postseason, losing to Dallas and blowing that lead in Game 7. And, that was a tough look for them. But they made so many moves last year to better the team in the short term. They don't have a ton of elite prospects, which could be a problem a few years down the line. But you look at Gabriel Landeskog being healthy for that team. They'll have a full season of Brock Nelson. They added a couple of nice stealth value picks that could be deep sleepers in fantasy. I'm talking about Victor Olofsson and Brent Burns, like still guys that have something left in the tank, especially Olofsson. So, and they already have that star-studded cast with McKinnon and Makar and Arturi Lekkinen and Nichushkin and guys like that. So it's going to be a lot of fun to watch the Avalanche and Blackwood and Wedgwood. That might be the best goalie tandem that I would try to get a hold of. Handcuff Wedgwood if you draft Blackwood in the first 4 or 5 rounds. But Blackwood as an individual, I think, showed me enough, especially from high danger areas, making so many stops in the playoffs. And when he was with the Avs and the Sharks last year, like, this is a potential top 5 goalie in all of fantasy with a ceiling of 35, 40 wins.
Speaking of goalies, Pete, what'd you make of the Dustin Wolf contract yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, it's great that they got that done. We've seen a lot of players opt to leave Calgary through the years. I think they got a nice little young core brewing here with Wolf and Zane Parekh, who I expect to make an immediate impact. He might be a little blocked on power play 1 for the start of the season, but we'll see, right? Like, Rasmus Anderson has been in some trade rumblings. We'll see if something ever happens on that front. I think that Mackenzie Weegar is one of the best all-around defensemen in the league, so it benefits a Dustin Wolf in fantasy now and moving forward. But also leaves an opportunity for Parekh to reach his potential fully in the next couple of years. And this all benefits Dustin Wolf. So Dustin Wolf in our keeper and dynasty rankings of 25 and under goalies is number 1 right now. I mean, he's ahead of Yaroslav Askarov, Jesper Wallstedt. There's not a huge list of players 25 and under that qualify for that list. So right now at the top, Dustin Wolf had a magnificent rookie season and could take another step forward this year.
Pete Jensen, NHL.com, Edge Stats, Fantasy, all things on NHL.com, our guest on the Kevin Carey Show on Sports 1440. The Detroit Red Wings, Pete, sometimes I'm like a lot of people, I think, not sure what the hell's going on there. But I totally agree with you. And they have a young forward that a lot of people don't give much credit to. And you've got him in your rankings as a breakout player in Marco Kasper. I think this guy could score 35 goals next year. I don't know where you think his ceiling's at. And he's just, 21 years old? Maybe a thought on Marco Kasper.
Oh, sure. Yeah. And I agree with Detroit. They've missed the playoffs by a couple of points, 2 straight years. They got John Gibson. At the surface, you could say, if Gibson stays healthy for 45, 50 games, they could get over the hump and get into the playoffs. But that's a big question mark. And their secondary scoring is also a big question mark. So Kasper was a breath of fresh air for them, played a lot on the top line, covered categories, had 100-something hits last year. So he's a guy that even if he scores 25, 30 goals, you could see him as one of the 5 or 10 players in the league that have 150 hits and 25, 30 goals. So really rare category coverage when you consider the physical element that he brings. And yeah, I just think that the Red Wings are top heavy. They're a team to take seriously in fantasy. I mentioned Seider, I think was one of 2 defensemen with 40 plus points and 200 hits last year. So he brings a physical element and rare category coverage air as well. Lucas Raymond, also outstanding. Alex DeBrincat, 35, 40 goals, take it to the bank almost every year when he's healthy. So, and they still have a reliable Patrick Kane. So it's a murky team, but one that I think is happy to integrate a really nice young player like Marco Kasper. So I love him as a breakout candidate to take it a step further.
Yeah. Is there anyone I'm missing here, Pete, as we kind of close things up here? Is there anyone I'm missing that maybe I haven't mentioned that you think a lot of hockey fans are going to go either fantasy edge, go, hey, man, this guy took it up a notch coming into this year, and we're going to see better performances, better stats, better things like that than compared to last year?
I mean, I think there are a couple of rookies last year that really came on strong in the second half. Like maybe they were both a little disappointing coming out of the gate, but really ramped up and were among the league leaders in a couple of categories among rookies. And I really expect them to take another step forward. For the Anaheim Ducks, Cutter Gauthier was near a point per game over his final 20, 25 games or so last year for the Ducks. Seems like a future 40-plus goal scorer to me with his shot volume. I believe he was second on the Ducks in shots on goal last year, and then also was tied for the even strength goal lead among rookies very quietly I believe, with Michkov. So I like Cutter Gauthier. And then I really like, especially if Michael Misa makes the team for the Sharks, like what the Sharks are building now and moving forward is all going to benefit Will Smith. He came on really strong down the stretch. These are two young players that are absolute studs, from their younger days. And I think that they're going to make a big fantasy impact and be huge steals in fantasy this season. The Sharks have obviously Celebrini. They have Will Smith, Michael Misa, number 2 pick in the draft, Sam Dickinson, the defenseman from 2 years ago, was the 11th pick in the draft, and then Askarov, who I mentioned. So they check all the different position boxes for the years to come. And we have them as the most improved team in our win projections for this upcoming season. So maybe not a playoff team quite yet, but they should be a lot better and a lot more fantasy relevant.
Great insight, Pete. As always, enjoy our conversations. Thanks for this. And the season's, less than a month away here. Here we go. Thanks for coming on as always.
Yeah, of course. Check out for more NHL.com/fantasy for the cheat sheet and the full list of all our rankings and projections. And then also NHL Fantasy on Ice podcast. We've dropped 4 season preview episodes and more to come in the next few weeks.
Will do. Thanks, Pete.
Thanks.
That's Pete Jensen, NHL.com, and our headliner of the day, brought to you by Mr. Rooter, your top defense pairing against leaks. That's mrrooter.ca. Well, Duke, a lot to digest there. I'm going to throw these stats at you because I didn't want to mention them all because we would be talking all day here. There's just a few stats.
Okay.
This is per NHL Edge. Okay. I'm going to go forwards. Top skating speed, 23.40 miles per hour. That's in the 95th percentile. 20-plus mile-an-hour speed burst, 98th percentile. Total skating distance, 97th percentile. Top shot speed, 91st percentile. And mid-range goals, 11 in the 93rd percentile. Any idea who we're talking about, Duke?
Well, of the several hundred players that play in the NHL.
You know who we're talking about. And I know that I'm going to get grief as soon as we say it. Because I got a lot of grief for it last year in the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. And that should whittle it down for you, Duke.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a guy that had some conversations at the NHL's media tour in Vegas here this week about an extension in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And it's your boy, the Swedish phenom. Adrian Kempe.
No. Sorry.
Sorry,
Dude. I know. I should.
The other player.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
It is Quentin Byfield.
Right.
And
I gotcha.
Of course, last year in the playoffs, I took a lot of heat. Did I not, Duke?
Yep. Well, you took a lot of heat. Just we both did for our opinions on the Kings and how well they were playing, particularly through the first couple games, and then beyond when they should have maybe had stranglehold in the series. But hey. If ifs and buts where you know what's, then we'd have a different story on our hands. But the Oilers win the series. But yeah, Quentin Byfield, I mean, all the physical traits, some underlying numbers all point towards him in that kind of breakout category.
And he said he was going to be thinking about it all summer long. The little chip off the boards where 10 seconds later, Evan Bouchard keeps it in and the puck's in the back of the Kings net. That's off the boards and out. And it is a 3-1 series lead for the Kings.
Yeah. Could have been different.
And he said, how many times did he say it? I'm going to be thinking about this all summer.
You should text some of our friends down on the Kings beat and see if that's the first thing they ask him.
Dennis Bernstein.
Ask DB. Just first day in the locker room. So, Quentin, did you think about that play all summer? Did you act, or were those just words to you?
Dennis would phrase it like this. So, Quentin, I was in Austria and I was just thinking about the sound of music in the hills, and I was thinking about it. And I thought, I wonder what Quentin Byfield is thinking
about.
I bet he's thinking about that chip off the boards. That probably cost him the series. When we come back, we'll get to some of your texts, 833-401-1440. It's the Kevin Carey Show with the Duke of Delburne on Sports 1440. Josh Fenwick, Sam the Intern, streaming on YouTube as well.
Mr. Rooter goes for a fall stroll.
Ah, the beauty of fall. These leaves are crunchier than that calcified shower head I replaced this morning. And the earthy yellow oranges and browns are as colorful as the wad of hair I pulled out of the shower drain.
Ugh, Mr. Rooter, can we talk about something else?
Well, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you didn't like fall. You look about as sour as the sewer line I unclogged yesterday.
For a plumber you'll truly fall for, call Mr. Rooter.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. Stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. TNA Wrestling makes its explosive debut at the Expo Center on Friday, September 26th and Saturday, September 27th for back-to-back nights. Buy your tickets online today. Learn more about what's happening at the Expo Center by visiting the calendar of events online at edmontonexpocenter.com today.
Want some good news? St. Albert Dodge is holding the biggest sale of the year on their in-stock Ram 1500 Sports. Every single one on the lot is discounted by a whopping $14,000. Yeah, 14 grand. And St. Albert Dodge has the best selection in Alberta. Over 90 Ram 1500 Sports to choose from with great packages, including the Night Edition and GT models, all $14,000 off the ticket price. Get down there and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
$1 plus tax for a smooth, small premium roast coffee at McDonald's? That means rich, full-bodied flavor at a price that's just as satisfying. Must be McCafe. Enjoy a small McCafe premium roast coffee for just $1 plus tax at participating McDonald's in Canada. Prices exclude delivery.
You wanted local sports on weekends. Saturday mornings at 9, check out the Saturday Sports Setup, where we'll tee up what's happening on the weekend sports scene. Tune in Saturday morning at 9 on Sports 1440.
At jackpotcity.net, you can do amazing things with just one casino chip. Discover a world of incredible casino games with over 500 high-quality online slot games, including the world-renowned progressive jackpot slot Mega Moolah. Play for free at jackpotcity.net and get treated as a VIP 24/7. So visit jackpotcity.net today on your tablet, laptop, or mobile. Jackpot City, a whole world of casino games. 18 plus. Please play responsibly. This is not a gambling website.
You ever done something you can't be forgiven for? Crave is the exclusive home of HBO originals, including Task, the new crime thriller from the creator of Mayor of Easttown.
I'm going to take their money so we can have a better life.
Starring Emmy winner Mark Ruffalo.
If things go terribly wrong, people want to know why God let it happen.
And Emmy nominee Tom Pelphrey.
Have I almost found a way out? We never did anything like this.
Task, an HBO limited series. Stream now, only on Crave. Subscribe at crave.ca.
Portions of this hour are brought to you by Nectar.io, transforming field data into boardroom insights. Nectar.io is the all-in-one solution for your fleet, safety, time tracking, and materials management needs. Nectar.io, your business made better.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 8:44 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne with you on Sports 1440. Text line 833-401-1440. Sask Oilers fan says, I believe Quinn Hudson is going to turn some heads at camp and have a real strong year in the American Hockey League. Potentially get a look with the big club at some time. Smart signing, in my opinion, from Sask Oilers fan. Well, Quinn Hudson played 2 games at the end of last season. That was part of a, I guess, wink, wink contract signed saying, well, we'll get you in for a couple of games. And instead, it actually burned a year off his contract. It is what it is. But I think that was a situation where it was, we'll, from the Hudson camp, we'll sign her. We want to get in a couple of games, and it takes a year off the contract. The Oilers are going, okay, what's the big deal? So, it's an older player when you look at it, compared to a draftable player like that's 18 years old. I mean, you're looking at a 5-year difference. I can't imagine what it would have been like for Quinn Hudson last year just to come in at the end of the season and play, a couple of games and, trying to do your darn best and in the sense that, you're not going to be playing, in the playoffs. You're going to be an American Hockey League player next year, but you want to try to make a statement. You want to try to open some eyes. So he's one of many guys, I think, Sask Oilers fan, that we'll see what happens at camp here and as we head into next week. Mr. Lister texts in, Wolf had a great rookie season, but 7 years is a mistake for any goalie, from Mr. Lister. Duke, and we talked about it yesterday at length. What's Dostal's contract at?
6.5.
6.5. So $1 million less. They're basically the same age, right? 1 year older for Dostal?
I think so, yeah.
Our numbers, games played, similar, somewhere in that realm, is it not? Obviously, goals against save percentage are tilted into the favor of Wolf.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I mean, were you happy with the Dostal contract in Anaheim?
I was, yeah, for sure. I think there's a little more, obviously, maybe like the total numbers are close, just because Wolf was so much busier last year. Dostal still splitting time with Gibson, but like Dostal's been kind of working towards this as a NHL backup / 1B option for the past few seasons. That gives me a little more, I don't know, belief in the contract is maybe a simple way to put it. But at the same time, I think that the Wolf deal is the $7.5 million high. Yeah. I do think so, but will it only be high for 2 years or 3 years? And all of a sudden by years 5, 6, 7, and maybe even 4, is it going to be an average number for a number one goalie? I see that as a very real possibility, but it just might be a matter of the Flames are happy to overpay him for the next couple seasons, with the belief that, we shouldn't be in much of a cap crunch because we're not Stanley Cup contending at this moment.
You had the question yesterday in or out about a little bit of a drop-off, not having Dan Vladar there. That's big.
I think having a veteran backup matters a lot. I do think that there's something to lean back on, and all of a sudden, if a young goaltender goes through a rough patch, who's there to pick up the slack for him? And that's for the team, but also for that goaltender's confidence to say, all of a sudden you're on the bench in a rough spell and you're watching, in this case, Devin Cooley, one of the best quotes you can get in an NHL locker room in his time in the league. But he goes out and is letting in 5, 6 a night. All of a sudden you feel pressure mounting on you a little bit more to get back out there and deliver your best. I think a steady, solid veteran backup is the logical way to go when you have a young, up and rising goaltender.
Well, and it's funny how so many people say, well, goaltenders have to play X amount of games to develop to be where they need to be, in the sense of a long-term contract, or where they should be, where they can carry a team. Well, that isn't the case here. I mean, they're rolling the dice, saying this is our guy for a long time. And again, he's basically played the season last year. I don't think you can count the 15 games or whatever prior to that. Dallas texted in just to kind of do some house cleaning when we had Mark Spector on, because we talked about Sid Crosby. And I totally, sorry, Dallas, I disagree with this 100%, because we're talking about Sid. Dallas says, I don't think he cares. He has 3 cups, doesn't want to play hockey into June anymore. Wants to go to the cottage and golf. He's got the Olympics, 4 nations. If he cared, he would have moved by now. He would have requested a trade by now. I can't disagree with you more, Dallas. There are certain players that are champions, and certain players have that drive, and it's a willingness to win, and it's a drive to be a champion. Sidney Crosby is that guy. It's not his fault that management has let this team go and age and pick up even more of an aging player in Erik Karlsson, but he wants to win. He doesn't want to, I don't want to play in June. He wants to win all the time at anything. In a little thing at practice. That's what makes champions, and he's a champion. That's why I said this year's a little different for Sid, because he's got the Olympics and he's got that little carrot dangling in front of him from 16 years ago when he scores the golden goal in 2010. To have that feeling again 16 years later, that's what drives champions to be the very best that they can be. And he is one of the people talk about the Mount Rushmores and all that. Sid Crosby's in the top 5-6 players of all time in hockey history. His numbers are there. The cups are there. Olympics are there. Everything. So I don't think that he doesn't have the drive anymore if you're saying he wants to go to the cottage and golf and that he would have moved on by now. When you have given everything to a team, to a city, you still have that in your heart. Wonder if Wayne Gretzky would ever say, Gretz, would you ever have thought about not? And he's been asked 100 times. It was the best thing for the game. Think about the documentary, King's Ransom. He's there with Peter Berg on the driving range. And Peter Berg's asking him, how many cups would you want? I don't know, 3 or 4 more. So he would have won, who knows, maybe 8 Stanley Cups in Edmonton. That's what drives guys to win. They want to win. MTR comes in, Duke. Oh boy, what a play to clear that puck in game 4 by Byfield. Oh man. He just won't let that go. These guys, come on. No, just kidding. Text 833-401-1440. We are awaiting the arrival of one David Schlemko, powered by Cougar Paint and Collision. He'll check in as our co-host from 9 to 11. Oh, one other text that I wanted to get to is way back, and it was about Elmer Benning from B-Rad. Hey, thanks for this, because we talked about Elmer Benning, a longtime scout for the Montreal Canadiens. B-Rad texts in and says, Elmer Benning was my first captain on the fire department. What so many don't know is how great he was as a leader and molded many a young man into excellent firefighters. Wonderful human being. That comes from B-Rad. Man, that's a great text. Appreciate the B-Rad, obviously, and thanks for being on the fire department and the whole bit. So, again, Elmer Benning and Speck, some great stories. All those scouts, the stories, the thousands, and in Elmer's case, millions of miles that he drove all over to find young talent in Western Canada as a scout for the Montreal Canadiens. And there's so many of these scouts that, they go to the cold rinks and the roads are crappy and they're trying to just get from rink to rink. And it used to be you could find a diamond in the rough a lot easier than it is now. And every scout will tell you that. Look at Colton Parayko. Colton Parayko playing in Fort McMurray. The scout for the St. Louis Blues was the only scout in the NHL at that time that would go up to Fort McMurray and watch him play. Many scouts would, we'll catch him when Fort McMurray, when the Oil Barons come into Edmonton or head down for a southern road trip to Calgary. Yeah, we'll catch him down there. But the scout for the St. Louis Blues made many trips up to Fort McMurray because he wanted to see him more and see him at home. Some guys play different at home than they played on the road. That's a known fact in junior hockey. But scouts, you try to find that diamond in the rough, and anyone can go pick those, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You find guys like Braden Point, 3rd rounders. Find those guys. That's how you build teams, in the sense that you're not having to have a 1st-round draft pick all the time that turns out to be something. And those can be bust too. But these guys, when you find those 3rd, 4th rounders, that's how you change the outlook of your team. Again, top of the hour, we got David Schlemko sliding in, our co-host for Cougar Paint and Collision. Schlemmer's a big golfer. He'll be excited to check in with Will Holen, PGA Tour America's player. Once again, round 1 of the ATB Classic gets underway tomorrow at Northern Bear. Check out the Sleeman Birdie Bar Suite on September the 13th on Friday. The Duke will be down there. It's on holes 9 and 18 when you come in. So it'll be pretty cool to watch all the great golfers coming in. Before that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by First Round. Sunday's got even better at First Round. You can win an NFL helmet or a jersey, and you can also enjoy the Pro Bowl brunch, only at Edmonton's NFL headquarters. First Round, downtown or right here in the mall that has it all on Bourbon Street. Here is the Duke.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Toronto Blue Jays take the lid lifter against the Houston Astros last night from Rogers Center, 4-3 in an extra inning. IKF with the tying hit in the bottom of the ninth. Miles Straw walking it off in bottom 10. Elsewhere around the majors yesterday, the Yankees bullpen blows up. They lose to the Tigers 12-2. Rays over the White Sox 5-4. Seattle Mariners, they get past the Cardinals 5-3. Giants take down the Diamondbacks 5-3. And the Red Sox keeping pace in the American League East 6-0 win over the Athletics. Off the field, three-time All-Star Anthony Rizzo has officially retired. First baseman won the World Series with the 2016 Chicago Cubs, last played in 2024. Head of next summer's World Cup, Team Canada in Swansea going up against Wales. They win 1-0 off a Derek Cornelius goal. First time ever Canada's had a 2-game winning streak over European opponents in Europe. Coming up in hour 3 of the Kevin Karius Show, we'll be joined by PGA America's Tour golfer Will Holen, as well as our Wednesday co-host, former NHLer David Schlemko. I'm Brandon Douglas. That's your Sports 1440 update.
This is Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
I'm a little hungry.
I've got Booster Balls from Booster Juice.
Booster what now?
Booster Balls. They're little protein bites packed with nutrients. Chewy, crunchy, yummy, and new flavors all the time. Like this little guy. The new mint chocolate Booster Ball. Peppermint cocoa, coconut, peanut butter, maple syrup, all rolled up into a delightful little bite-sized snack.
Why am I just hearing about this now?
I don't know.
Can I have one?
No. Booster Juice. Canadian born. Blending since 1999.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 25% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until October 18th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Blue Jays fans, this weekend and every weekend, you can catch Toronto Blue Jays ball games right here on Sports 1440. Ben Schulman provides the play-by-play. You provide the chips and beer. Check out the Blue Jays this weekend on Edmonton's home for sports. Sports 1440.
Diablo Boots sells only Canadian-made work and biker boots made by Canada West. No American or boots made in China, so no tariffs. All of Diablo's boots have replaceable soles and heels for longer life. Sizes 6 to 14 Triple E. Buy quality, buy Canadian. And support Canada West and Diablo, the two best names in the boot business. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Buy Canadian. They're terrific.
The ATB Classic is returning to Northern Bear Golf Club.
An international field of professionals will battle it out on their path towards the PGA Tour.
Advance tickets are $20 or upgrade your access to sit greenside in the Sports 1440 Birdie Bar. Presented by Sleeman.
Net proceeds go to Youth on Course to give kids age 6 to 18 access to play golf for just $5.
Come see the future stars of the PGA Tour.
The ATB Classic.
September 11th to 14th.
Get your tickets at atbclassic.com.
Stories, guests, and insights. This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Karius Show.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 9 o'clock in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne with you on Sports 1440. We're also streaming on YouTube with Josh Fenwick and Sam, the intern, in studio as well. Thanks so much for checking in for hour number 3 of the Kevin Karius Show here on Sports 1440 as we welcome in our Wednesday co-host from 9 to 11, David Schlemko, powered by Cougar Paint and Collision, our family helping your family for over 40 years. Check them out at cougarcollision.com. Morning, Schlemmer. How's it going, big fella?
Morning, Kev. I'm good, buddy.
Yeah.
Been up for hours. It's September, back into the swing of real life, and summer's definitely over.
The swing of life. And that means it's one word. It's called routine.
Yes.
When you have, again, you got 2 kids that are going to school now again, and the routine in summer changes.
Sure does.
Actually, there is no routine, is there? Or is there?
Well, or lack thereof, which is nice, I'm missing like the morning coffee, the slow morning. Now it's just like wake up and chaos. I might as well come in here at 7 because I'm up and
hey, you're more than welcome.
It's nuts at home.
So what time, like in the summer, let's just say, because you have certain, I don't know, events and whatever else, you got holidays, you got everything else.
Yeah.
So it's just, as you say, more lax and more.
Just a little bit. Yeah. Slower pace, a lot more golf and less running around.
But now, I mean, the kids are out of the house. Now you can, once they're out of the house.
True. Yeah. It's, I get a little bit more time at home during the day. It's quiet, but school started, dance has started for my kids and everyone else who's got kids and activities during the week at night knows the struggle. So,
well, never mind back in the day when you were getting ready for camps. So then you were on a routine and not just starting in September.
September used to be the hardest month of the year, always.
Because
I guess it still kind of feels like it, but it's not even close.
Right? Because you need to ramp things up.
Well, you're thinking about the VO2 test, those skates at the end of the camp practice, and those are a couple tough weeks to get through.
Did you hear Speck said he did it at Oilers camp and he was ahead of 4 guys?
No, he didn't.
Well, this is 100 years ago. Like he said, I think he said 1991.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, maybe I could see that.
92 or something like that.
He's got a couple years under his belt now. That'd be pretty bad if he was beating 4 guys.
I said I would have given it a whirl probably 20 years ago.
Does he remember the number?
He does not remember the number. He said something to the effect that several guys said to him, I would not want to be one of those 4 players that are behind you in that.
100%.
So, and again, I think he said in the 90s, somewhere in there.
In the 90s?
No, what year?
Oh, what year it was? Okay.
Yeah. So, okay, well, how do they grade it? Like what?
I'm not sure exactly how the scientific numbers put together. I want to say like the top guys at camp on the bike VO2 would be like in the 70s, low 70s.
Do you remember what yours were?
Mid 60s was good. I was like a low to mid 60s guy. Usually during my career. I remember one of my first camps. I'd never done the VO2 and hadn't practiced or anything, and I got like a 49, and I heard about that one.
I bet, yeah. Do they make you skate a little more at that? Like, do they go, the guys that are under 55 or whatever, you're staying out a little longer or whatever?
For like the veteran guys that are going to be on the team, for sure. Yeah, you're gonna hear about it. You're gonna be doing a little extra in the gym, a little more on the bike, maybe a little extra skate at the end of practice. If you're not a veteran guy that's already on the team, that's just a quick way to get sent to the minors, baby.
What's the hardest thing about the VO2? Is it the burning of the legs, the lungs, that mask?
You know what? It's a little bit of everything. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's the legs burn for sure. I mean, that's the first part that goes through your head is, I can't move my legs anymore. But the rest is tough too. Like you got that uncomfortable mask on that it feels like you can't breathe. You got, probably a couple cameras on you, like 15 people standing around yelling in your face. So it's just, I don't know. You're just not used to it.
Yeah. They used to let us cover it at Oilers a lot more, like years ago. They would let us go right in there. Not so much anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like
that'd be kind of nice for the players, honestly.
I think so too. Well, and I mean, I'm talking like 25 years ago, Schlemmer here. So they, the cameras were allowed inside. And the one thing that I do remember, like even a guy say like Ryan Smith, because I remember just because it was Smitty and I was like, whatever, 3 feet away with a camera. The mask comes off at the end and you can see like how tired and out of breath everyone is. But I just remember like saliva, like all over everything. Like it's just coming out. It looked like a horse chortling, you know, and I'm like, oh, you know.
It's pretty hot in there.
Well, I would assume like something that I'm like, I don't want to try that.
No, it's not fun. The other one was the Wingate. I don't think a lot of teams do that one anymore. That was like it's either a 30-second sprint or a minute, but they basically just drop a bunch of weight on the bike and like you can barely pedal after like 20 seconds. It's just a grind.
So the difference maybe between that, explain that in the VO2 is that it's the tension.
Yes.
Okay.
So they're dropping a bunch of weight on that bike and you're just grinding as hard as you can. And you can barely keep it going by the end of I can't remember if it was 30 seconds or a minute, but that's more, I think, to measure your power output. And the VO2 is like your lungs.
50 years ago, Schlemmer, I could have done it when I was the Dickie D ice cream salesman.
Yeah.
Up and down those hills in the ice cream wagon. Tell you what.
You're one of those guys, eh?
Oh, yeah.
You never got robbed?
No, we never did. No, I think of it. Yeah,
I think that's why they stopped
sending
those things out.
Wow. I mean, we were.
Now they're all in the trucks driving around.
Yeah, well, and that music, we had to ring the bells too, man. David Schlemko with us, 9:07 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne with you on Sports 1440. So, do you remember your first rookie camp? A rookie camp?
Oh yeah.
Where was it?
I was with the Coyotes.
Yeah.
I don't even know if we were in Phoenix. We were in LA for the whole thing. It was like a rookie tournament. So I do remember some of the studs in there. I didn't make it out of rookie camp my first year. I wasn't drafted, just a camp invite. But LA had Kopitar, San Jose had Pavelski. There's some pretty wicked players.
Was it so? It was 2 camps together, sort of thing.
It was like a rookie tournament.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So a camp invite. So at least you ended up. We've been saying it for 2 days. As a player, you have to do something on whatever shift it is. Hopefully, every shift that you're out there, that someone in the stands, whether it be a scout, a coach, manager, goes, "Hey, did you see what that guy did?"
Right.
So
you want to make an impression. Yeah. I remember it like it was yesterday. Right. So that's your goal, obviously, going into rookie camp is to make main camp. And I thought I had a good tournament. And I remember talking to some of the staff and they're just like, honestly, like, yeah, we should probably bring you to camp, but we didn't know who you were. We didn't really expect that you would show like this. So it was nice. I ended up signing with them the next year. So
what happened?
All worked out.
What happened like after that? Where did you go? Did you go down to?
I went back to junior that year. Yeah. So just back to Med Hat.
And at least, but again, you made an impression.
Right.
So that's all that matters.
Yeah. So love to see those undrafted guys. Looking forward to the weekend here.
Yeah.
I was wondering, I see that game Friday is on the Oilers Plus stream. You had to pay for that?
You know what? Sometimes at this point of the year, they'll say, come along for a free subscription for a month or something like that.
That trial. Give me that credit card number.
Yes. And then you know how it works. But it's actually, I think it's only $20 a ticket as well.
That's very reasonable.
Yeah. So, I mean, I assume like a guy, having said that, I'm not sure because I'm just thinking about Zane Perek in Calgary. Would he come up for it? He left the World Junior. They had a little camp.
Yeah.
He left that because he had some sort of a minor injury.
Oh, okay.
But I would imagine on Friday, you'll see Ike Howard. You'll see Matt Savoy.
Yeah.
You'll see some of the other players that I think Oiler fans would like to have a first gander at.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Hyde Davidson's in there too.
Okay, yeah.
Seattle Thunderbird, local kid, coached him at NAX a few years ago. So hoping to see him make a great impression.
Yeah, like there's some other guys. Like for me, I said the number one storyline for everyone, and I agree when we had Pete Jensen on, and he was talking about the comparisons between Savoy and Howard, and you said first thing you said, well, I don't know about that, like because Howard hasn't played a pro game yet.
I just don't know about the statement saying that he is already more of a complete package or ready to play when he hasn't proven anything yet at the pro level.
And so because Savoy's got a year under his belt in Baco.
Right. And, Savoy was very highly touted coming out of junior, too, this offensive weapon. And what did he have to do? He had to go down to the minors and learn the pro game and learn to play away from the puck. And that's something that most guys have to do.
How long does it take to learn that? Or do you ever finish? There's still times. Go back to the Stanley Cup final and Connor McDavid on the one goal.
Yeah.
He goes to the puck where he should have been on the trailer.
All right. Well, that's exactly. Okay. That'll lead into my point, I guess, is it takes as long as you want it to take. Right. Like defense, it doesn't take any skill. It's all work and discipline and commitment. And you see a guy like Savvy, who was a first rounder, and he went down and he had the right attitude and he was killing penalties, and they notice that kind of stuff. But I've also played with some young Russian guys who are just absolute studs with the puck and offensively, and they have no interest in learning how to play defense. And it's going to take them a little longer to build that trust.
So again, it's each individual's different.
Yeah,
for sure. Kevin Karius, David Schlemko with you on Sports 1440. So again, that's one element. So I think a lot of people want to see Ike Howard coming up here. They also want to see some other guys that maybe they don't know too much about. These are guys that have been playing over in Europe. To me, like Samuel Jansson's a goaltender.
Yeah,
just turned 21. So he's a guy. When you look at how teams recruit, sign, develop, whatever it is, players are different in the sense of goaltender, defense, forward. Everyone knows that. But to me, this is the guy that they have their eyes set on to see what he can do when he gets over here. What would be the hardest thing for him? Is it angles? Is it?
I don't know. I don't pretend to know how to goalie. Honestly, that's one thing I stay away from. I leave the goalies. I don't really know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm guessing maybe coming from Sweden on the bigger ice, it might be a little different, some of the angles and stuff, but I'm not really going to pretend that I know how to goalie.
Hammer just texted, a lot of guys have Howard and Savoy in the top 6. What's the backup plan if neither of them make it? Well, when they had this top 6 out, a lot of guys had Mangiapane outside the top 6. I don't.
Yeah,
Mangiapane's in the top 6.
He's going to be. I don't see them both in the top 6.
No, I don't see him at all. And the only reason that there's a possibility for them at this point going into camp is because of Zach Hyman.
Right.
But still, there's other options as well, where you can look at things. But some people never had Mangiapane in the top 6. Mangiapane is starting in the top 6. I'd go 100% on that.
Yep. I mean, you just paid him all that money.
Yeah, exactly. The other one, there's another player. He's a German player, Josh Szymanski.
Okay.
He's a big German center. He's like 6'5", 200.
Wow, the unit.
Yeah, I've been playing in the Dell, and there's another guy, so not drafted, but when you trade all your draft picks and trade all your young players, you got to
get creative. Yeah,
got to stock the cupboard somehow.
Absolutely. Is the Tomasek in the rookie?
Tomasek is he wouldn't be at rookie camp here.
No, okay.
He's 29.
Oh, right. He's way too old.
29. He's played pro.
It is crazy though. Some of the college guys that are still in rookie camp that are like 24, 25.
Yeah, they're 20. Some guys 23, 24, as you say, and some guys will be at camp or 19.
Yeah. That's a huge advantage.
For sure it is. There's another guy that we've been discussing here too, Clattenburg. He's a bigger guy. He's your fourth line banger.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people want to see how he's developed because he's when you look at him, he's improved pretty well every year, in the OHL.
Okay.
But now he's going to have a full season here in Baco, you would think. And
he's 20 this year.
Yeah, he's a 20-year-old coming 21, I guess. So
perfect.
Gregor had an interview with Tomasek. I think it's Tomaszek. Laddie Schmid went out for dinner with him.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah,
I read that in the paper, I think.
So I mean, you're gonna try to make this guy feel welcome here. You gotta, and that's gonna be tough for him. So to me, he's such a wild card coming in.
Yeah.
And that's next week, obviously.
Well, I mean, it's almost a win-win. We didn't have to pay him too much, right?
No, and there's nothing wrong. Like if he went down to Baco and started the year there, it's for him. He's got to say, okay, I want to try the North American game.
All right.
Like if he comes over here and doesn't start the season with the Oilers, well, that's fine. But then you got to go to Baco and go, I have to dominate this league like I was dominating in Sweden.
Yeah. He goes down. He's thinking, I better figure this out pretty quick.
Or else he'll just go back. Right.
Right.
And I mean, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
But if this is your
Happens
dream,
all the time.
If this is your dream, this is what you want to do. I mean, you got to take the steps. You got to make the right things going on. So, hey, we're going to have Will Holen on, PGA Tour America's player.
Exciting. We had him on once before, I believe.
Last year.
Yeah.
This is exactly at this time because he's an Edmonton guy and he's getting ready for the ATB Classic tomorrow at Northern Bear.
Right.
So, but really, this is the first foray into the pro game for him.
Right. Yeah. I think he's played 6 events or something like that.
So still trying to find his way. But
tough to make it,
man. This guy, think about, like you say, you were at the club championship at Glendale, shoot a 76, and then all of a sudden, boom, goes the dynamite.
Oh, yeah.
And then, so think about these guys. These guys are this close to get to the Corn Ferry Tour.
Such a mental grind. It's got to be.
And the guys in the Corn Ferry Tour are this close to get to the PGA Tour. It's a matter of a few putts here and there, hit a couple more greens.
The margin is so slim and the money difference is so big.
You got that right. When we come back, Will Holen, PGA Tour America's player. It's the ATB Classic getting underway tomorrow. Keep in mind, we've got the Sports 1440 Sleeman Birdie Bar Suite on Friday. The Duke of Delburne will be there, checking out groups coming in on holes 9 and 18 at Northern Bear. That's coming up right after the break. Will Holen. It's a Kevin Carey Show with the Duke of Delburne and David Schlemko on Sports 1440, and we're streaming on YouTube.
That's the sound of Harley you've been dreaming about. And this is the sound of opportunity knocking, and it's coming from Harley-Davidson of Edmonton.
Our end of season sale is on, and we're clearing the floor with unbelievable prices on a huge selection of pre-owned bikes. This is your moment to own the legend.
Find your dream machine at Harley-Davidson of Edmonton on the Yellowhead Trail. Locally owned and operated by the Kent family and celebrating 45 years.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. Stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Center. TNA Wrestling makes its explosive debut at the Expo Center on Friday, September 26th and Saturday, September 27th for back-to-back nights. Buy your tickets online today. Learn more about what's happening at the Expo Center by visiting the calendar of events online at edmontonexpocenter.com today.
Some people wake up and get dressed for work in a suit and tie or a nice dress. At GS Construction, we're less fashion forward and more putting our best foot forward. We wear hard hats and steel toe boots, and most importantly, we wear 50 years of experience with pride. It's not glamorous, it's definitely not easy, but it matters. We do it well. So if you'd like to be part of something where your work matters, GS Construction is hiring. Just remember, when you come for an interview, ditch the tie. See more at gsconstruction.ca.
Edmonton's only 24-hour-a-day sports radio station can be heard anytime, anywhere. Sports 1440 is streaming on your phone, your tablet, your computer. Download an app today and listen to Sports 1440.
The ATB Classic is returning to Northern Bear Golf Club.
An international field of professionals will battle it out on their path towards the PGA Tour.
Advance tickets are $20 or upgrade your access to sit greenside in the Sports 1440 Birdie Bar. Presented by Sleeman.
Net proceeds go to Youth on Course to give kids age 6 to 18 access to play golf for just $5.
Come see the future stars of the PGA Tour.
The ATB Classic.
September 11th to 14th.
Get your tickets at atbclassic.com.
You ever done something you can't be forgiven for? Crave is the exclusive home of HBO originals, including Task, the new crime thriller from the creator of Mayor of Easttown.
I'm going to take their money so we can have a better life.
Starring Emmy winner Mark Ruffalo.
If things go terribly wrong, people want to know why God let it happen.
And Emmy nominee Tom Pelfrey.
Have I almost thought, oh yeah, we never did anything like this.
Task, an HBO limited series. Stream now, only on Crave. Subscribe at crave.ca.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 9:20 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne with you on Sports 1440, along with our co-host David Schlemko. Our buddy Gene Principe just gave you a little bit of a kudos, Schlemmer. Texted me and says, work, discipline, commitment. All of that from David about defense. We'll use that on my daughter's soccer team. Great conversations about the VO2 and rookie camp from Gino. And yesterday, I forgot Gino sent in Duke because we were talking about Oktoberfest. Gino says, Oktoberfest is a blast. That's coming from an Italian.
What a beauty, Gino.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Time now for the game of the day. Brought to you by St. Albert Dodge, where the biggest sale of the year is on right now. Our in-stock Ram 1500 Sports, all discounted by a whopping $14,000. They've got over 90 to choose from, including the Night Edition and GT models, only at stalbertdodge.com. As we welcome back Will Holen, PGA Tour America's player, getting ready for tomorrow's ATB Classic at Northern Bear. Morning, Will. You're with Kevin Karius and David Schlemko, former NHLer, and you were with us last year at this time talking about this tournament. Good to have you back. Thanks, Will.
Good morning, guys. I appreciate you having me on.
Well,
I think
right
around this time.
No kidding. You must be just excited again to get things ready to roll, teeing things up at Northern Bear. Maybe just touch on that, the excitement of doing this, just like we were talking about last year.
Yeah, it's been great. Nice to come home. We had an off week last week too, so I came home a little bit earlier, and it feels like this is the most extended time I've had at home in a while, so it's good. And then back out at Northern Bear this year, the course is in great shape, and I'm just excited to get going tomorrow. I think last year I missed the cut by one after we talked, so hopefully a bit better luck this year.
Have you? Will you have a practice round yet today? Did you have one yesterday, Will?
Yeah, we've been out there all week. So Monday I played 18, and then yesterday I played 9, and then I'll head out there this afternoon, play another 9 holes.
Got to ask you, how's number 10 looking, because it wasn't in play last year?
10's looking good, actually. It's a good risk-reward par 5. So, but we played it on Monday and played it yesterday too. So It should be good to go for the week, which is great.
Yeah, no kidding.
Awesome, buddy. Obviously home for the week now. I'm sure you got a few pro events under your belt. What's been your favorite event so far, and why?
We were actually down in Minnesota last week in Brainerd. It's a little lake community. It was during the long weekend, and there's a bunch of little small towns and lake communities, so everyone came out and watched that. They just put on a really good event. And then this one's always hard to beat. All my friends and family will come out. I feel kind of bad this week. I threw a lot on my mom. I think we had like 4 or 5 guys staying at our house and at our neighbors. And then my sister, who actually plays hockey down at Mount Royal, she texted my mom probably 2-3 weeks ago. She's like, hey, myself and 5 other teammates are coming up for the Morgan Wallen concert. Can we stay at home? So we got a packed house this week.
Oh, that's so cool. Will Holen with us on the Kevin Karius Show with David Schlemko. Maybe just speak to that importance, Will, of being home, having that support, because I mean, even before we get to your, playing down in college at Lipscomb, but just the fact that you've had this support from friends and family all these years to get where you are.
Definitely, yeah. I've been really lucky too, growing up here in Edmonton. The support from Al Prokop at Blackhawk. Just when I come home for the summers, he lets me play and practice out there, and they've been so good to me. And then, of course, my parents, my dad's kind of taught me everything. And then this year, my mom's still working, but she's took on the part-time job of my caddy, so she'll be on the bag this week, which will be good. And she's had a couple events with me, and we've had some success, so she's kind of the good luck charm right now.
So what's that dynamic like to have mom on the bag?
It's great. I wish like a couple times we could be mic'd up, because she's so good out there, because she knows enough about golf, but not too much. So she makes sure I'm eating well, drinking a lot of water, and off the course kind of takes care of me, kind of pampers me a little bit, I'll admit it. And there's a couple of days when we're playing and I'll have a good day and we'll finish the round, and she doesn't really even know what I shot. She's like, that seems like a good day. And usually 6 birdies and a couple of bogeys, and it is a good day, but it's just great to have her. And it's kind of, I think probably 10, 15 years down the road, we'll look back at it, and it's hard when you do miss a couple of cuts and you don't think it's the greatest time of your life, but I think it has created a lot of memories for us that we'll look back on for sure.
Yeah, that's definitely special, man. That's awesome. So I guess just kind of leading off Kevin's last question here, talking about where you're staying and stuff. Just maybe about the grind of playing in the so-called like minor leagues of golf. Where do you stay on the road at other events? Are you in hotels? How's the travel? Is it a real grind or how is it out there?
Yeah, it definitely is a grind. I like telling people, like, when they think professional golfers, they see the full swing and they see the private jets and chefs and whatnot. But this tour is definitely a grind. Like, we've been all across Canada, then down to Minnesota 2 weeks ago. And you're just kind of, each week's different. Like, some weeks you'll be in a hotel, sometimes it's host housing or an Airbnb. And it is a grind, but every guy out here is kind of in the same boat and you love it. Like an example, last week or 2 weeks ago, we're playing in Winnipeg. We practiced Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Huge storm rolls in Wednesday night. Thursday, Friday gets canceled because of rain. So then we played 18 holes Saturday, 18 holes Sunday, wrap up at like 6, 7 p.m. on the Sunday, and then drive 8 hours through the night to get to Minnesota to prep for the next week. So it's not the most glamorous lifestyle. A lot of time in the car, Airbnbs, hotels, but it's good. You kind of find the 3-4 guys you travel with, and you kind of make like a little team out of that, which kind of brings back that college feel, which out here it can get lonely and it's a grind and it's hard and it can take a toll on you mentally. So I've been very lucky with a good group of friends, and of course my family being in Canada, they can kind of come to tournaments a little bit easier, and they've been very, very good to me.
Will Holden, our guest on Sports 1440. You just mentioned college, Will, and last year when we had you on at this time, you were basically wrapping things up at Lipscomb University. Maybe just take us back to your time there and how much it meant to you to get where you are right now.
Yeah, it was, looking back, it's probably the greatest 5 years of my life. And I kind of owe all my golf career to my time in college at 2 different schools. I was in St. Louis first, and that was great. And then ended up in Nashville for my last 3 years. But kind of looking back at it now, that felt very easy compared to what I'm doing now. I know the golf was hard, but you literally just, your coach take care of all the kind of behind the scenes work, booking flights and that stuff. But it was great. I still live in Nashville during the winter months, so it's good. I see the coach and a lot of the team still and hang out and play with them through those winter months. So you still feel part of it.
Can't remember if I asked you last year, did you get to any Oiler games when you were in Nashville?
No, so it was actually the last year they played against the Predators in Nashville 2 times in like 8 days or something. And we were on the road for both of those 8 days. But usually I try, that's the one I'll circle on the calendar whenever Edmonton's in town, that I'll go to that one. And I'll throw on my Nugent Hopkins jersey, and a lot of people in Nashville are like, who's this? The McDavid Dreisaitl's, but been a big Nuge fan my entire life, and he's kind of lived around the area. So that's the one I'll stay loyal to.
Love that.
Yeah,
Nuge is awesome. I got one for you, Will. A little bit of a fanboy question here. I love golf. I was looking at your college stats. I saw that from 22-23 or a 73.14. The next year you went down to a 70.6, so shaved, 2.5 strokes off. Was there something that you really changed that year, or did something just click for you?
I think after that year, I believe that first year might have been my first or second year at Lipscomb, so it was a bit of a change. And then my coach, Will Brewer, and I just had a little bit of swing work that we worked on to get a little tighter with my dispersion and whatnot. And then kind of like any sport at any level, it's just like that sense of belief. Like, I came from a not great junior career to Division II to Division I, and then it kind of takes a little bit to kind of believe that you can be there and stuff.
Right.
And I think just being there with a good coach, and that was the second or third year with the same group of guys, and we kind of all bonded and got close. And I found once you kind of get a roll going down there, you can improve. And I was not a great putter, and that's probably the biggest one. I've kind of went through the ringer with all types of putters, different brands and whatnot. So I'm still doing it to this day. But I think kind of the old cliche, like to shave the most amount of strokes off your games around the green and chipping. And I found when I went to Lipscomb after that first year, we spent so much time chipping and putting, just little games, competitions for short game with the team. And that's probably the biggest difference.
Will Holden with us on the Kevin Karius Show with David Schlemko on Sports 1440. I got your your scoring average this year at 69.38. I think that's correct. But your round 3 scoring average is at 67.5. So you're looking at almost 2 strokes better in the third round. What is it about? Is it about grinding it out, later in the rounds for you, Will?
Yeah, that's interesting. Maybe it's just the sense of relief that you finally make a cut. Yeah, you're like, okay, I got 2 more rounds, but it's maybe just you kind of get used to the course and you've seen it a couple more times. But the golf out here is so good. I think the cut each week, the highest cut for 2 days has been 6 under. So kind of wherever you're playing is, if you make the cut, like, you're playing some good golf. And I think back to that question about the grind, you can have 3 or 4 good days of golf and shoot 3 to 4 under, and you're finishing 40th or 50th. And it just kind of shows like the level that these guys are at. And you see it in the past, like the guy who won a couple times, Johnny Kiefer, he's going to get his PGA Tour card, and he was playing up here last year. Actually played 9 holes with him last year, and now he's going to be on the big tour next year. So it is a grind, but these guys are so good, and you can kind of jump up from each level pretty quickly.
Cool. Yeah. How do you explain, Will, to just, the recreational golfer, that how close that guys on the Tour Americas, the PGA Tour Americas Tour, how close they are to even Korn Ferry, but yet how far it is? Because, as you said, the guys are so darn good out here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great question. I do think probably outside the top 50 in the world, you could grab a top PGA Tour Americas player and a top Korn Ferry player in the PGA Tour, and they could all go play in any given day that anyone could win. It's just, I find those guys on the PGA Tour or Korn Ferry, those guys who've been around for a while, they just have that tangible where they just know how to kind of get it done. There's a guy at my school named Dawson Armstrong. He's a little bit older, and it feels like every week when he's 2 or 3 shots off the cut line, like coming in, he makes those 2 or 3 birdies. They just kind of have that about them where they know how to get it done and what it takes, which is really impressive, which I think comes with a bit of time out here. And you can't really teach that. You just kind of learn it through the years.
Mm-hmm. What about guys making it out of Canada? Will, is that a lot tougher to do? And I mean, obviously you're doing it right now, but is it getting easier?
I think it is getting easier. We see a lot more guys each year going down the States to play D1, D2, just get down and play. And then Golf Canada, they did a study a couple of years back, and I think for the average Canadian to make the Korn Ferry Tour, it takes 4 to 8 years.
Wow.
And I just think we're behind the 8 ball to begin with, just with the amount of tournaments and the amount of snow we get. Like, these guys in Texas are playing all year round, but on the flip side, if you grabbed a kid from Florida and said, why don't you come up and play hockey against us? They probably wouldn't stand a chance. So, except with the Panthers now. So it's kind of evening out. But golf in Canada is definitely growing, which is great.
Yeah. Hey, well, you said Nuge is your favorite player on the Oilers. Have you had a chance to meet him yet at all or anything like that?
He used to kind of live around us. I lived across the street. And I remember the one day when we were playing road hockey or whatever, I think you guys mentioned Gene a little earlier, and he was doing some interview with Nuge in the neighborhood.
That's awesome.
This had to be like 15 years ago or something, but a little starstruck at the time, I think. So.
Are you guys down in that Laurier Heights area then? Or where?
Yeah, down by that area.
Okay.
And then I think Nuge is a big golden retriever fan, and we have 2 as well. So we see him walking down in the river valley from time to time.
Oh, such cool stuff. If you had to do the Tin Cup, Will, and break every club in your bag except for one, what would it be? Because you know that wherever you're stepping up, you know that you can make a shot with that club.
I'd probably keep the driver. I think it's the most fun to hit, and it's kind of because the average golfer doesn't care how you hit an 8-iron. They want to see you hit driver and whatnot. So I'd probably keep the driver.
What's your tee time tomorrow, Will?
2:00 tomorrow, and then 8:50 on Friday.
8:50 on Friday.
Quick turnaround.
Yeah, no kidding. Do you like that, or do you like it the other way around?
I kind of like the early-late waves because if you play early, by the time you finish and leave the course, it's 4 or 5 o'clock, and then you come home, have a nice dinner, and then you kind of can sleep in and prep for the next day. But it kind of goes both ways. A lot of guys like the late early because they say if you get hot on the first day, you just keep it rolling into the second day.
Makes sense.
There's pros and cons with both.
As you said, you were so darn close to making the cut last year. Is that goal number one here? What are you looking at for as we head into tomorrow?
Obviously, make the cut would be great. It'd be awesome to play the weekend here because last 2 years I've actually missed the cut by one. And then it would always be nice to be in contention come Saturday, Sunday, but really just take it a day at a time and see how it goes and just do my thing and enjoy it. Because I feel like, especially now these days where my family and everything, everyone's all together, hard to come by. So just kind of soak that in and enjoy it and enjoy the time with my mom.
Yeah, this has been a lot of fun here. And hey, did you know Schlemmer shot 76 in round one at the Glendale for the club championship? You probably knew about that, Will.
Shut up, Kevin.
That's good. The Glendale's tough. Greens are fast. It's hard off the tee. That's great.
Yeah. Attaboy, Schlemmer. Hey, Will, thanks for doing this. Best of luck tomorrow, and hope you have a great tournament, great success. We're all pulling for you. Thanks
Good luck, man.
Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it again. Have a good rest of your day.
You betcha. That's Will Holen, ready to tee up tomorrow, 2:00 at the ATB Classic at Northern Bear, PGA Tour Americas. And again, Sports 1440 sponsoring the Sleeman Birdie Bar Suite on Friday. The Duke will be there. I'm going to try my very best just to sneak in. Kimberly already tried to get me another ticket, Duke, that I gave to you, and I'm going to try my very best to somehow slide in there. Somehow.
Duke will hold down the fort, no problem.
Yeah, I'll represent us well. Fear not.
Were you surprised that he had heard about your 76, Schlemmer?
Oh, he had. Stop it.
When I look at his stats, Schlemmer, all these guys, and it's not just on the PGA Tour Americas. It's not just the Corn Ferry. It's the PGA. It's everywhere. They're par fives. They eat them up.
Oh, yeah.
They eat them up.
I think like the most interesting thing he said was that if you take one guy from each tour, I think outside of the top 50 in the world, like anybody could beat anybody.
Take away those guys and all those FedEx guys, right? The top 30 and whatever. I
agree.
Yeah. Will's par five scoring average is 4.56. But his par four is 396. I'm betting if you were to ask him, and I just didn't see it because it was down at the very bottom of his stats on the Tour Americas site, his par three scoring average is 306. So that tells you where
pretty standard.
It's and these par threes on all the tours, they lengthen them off.
Oh, well, yeah. Like it seems like every week, every tournament, there's a par three that's 240 plus yards. Guys are hitting like not even an iron into.
Steve texts in, Will Holen is a fine young man from an excellent family. Yes. This was a really good one from Grazer that texted in. Hey guys, years ago I played in a Canadian Tour event in Winnipeg. Grazer, give us your name. I want to see if I can find the stats. When I teed off, the leader was already a 10 under. That's a grind out there no matter what tour it is.
I feel a little bit of pressure standing on the first tee.
So I'm 10 back, haven't teed off yet. Wow. On the first round.
Time to go low.
Yeah, on the first round. That was the game of the day brought to you by St. Albert Dodge, where the 2025 Jeep Wrangler 1500s have 0% financing for up to 72 months. Great selection. Check it out, stalbertdodge.com. When we come back, looks like we're going to be going in or out. Questions just rolling in. Haven't even had a look yet. Have you?
Nope.
Oh, well,
never do anymore.
Going blind, going hot. Coming up right after the break. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne, and David Schlemko on Sports 1440, and we're streaming on YouTube as well.
Mr. Rooter goes for a fall stroll.
Ah, the beauty of fall. These leaves are crunchier than that calcified shower head I replaced this morning. And the earthy yellow oranges and browns are as colorful as the wad of hair I pulled out of the shower drain.
Ugh, Mr. Rooter, can we talk about something else?
Well, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you didn't like fall. You look about as sour as the sewer line I unclogged yesterday.
For a plumber you'll truly fall for, call Mr. Rooter.
Weekly NFL giveaways, drink specials, huge screen TVs. The hits keep coming at First Round, Edmonton's NFL headquarters. Watch NFL football at First Round, and you could win a trip to your favorite NFL city for a regular season game next season. Catch NFL action Thursday nights, all day Sunday, starting with the Pro Bowl brunch from 10:30 to 2. Then Monday night, with half-price boneless wings after 6 p.m. First Round, burgers, beer, sports. Downtown and Bourbon Street, West Edmonton Mall.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 25% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until October 18th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
You wanted local sports on weekends. Saturday mornings at 9, check out the Saturday Sports Setup, where we'll tee up what's happening on the weekend sports scene. Tune in Saturday morning at 9 on Sports 1440.
At Cougar Paint and Collision, it's not just about getting the job done. It's about comfort and connection.
We really are a huge family brought together by crappy situations. Lots of times people had a really bad day and end up sitting and talking with my dad for 30 minutes. My mom brings out her dog. I would say 99% of the people that walk into the shop say, wow, this doesn't look like a body shop. It's a really cool and relaxing place to be when you've had kind of a crappy situation happen to you.
Cougar Paint and Collision, our family helping your family.
Diablo Boots sells only Canadian-made work and biker boots made by Canada West. No American or boots made in China, so no tariffs. All of Diablo's boots have replaceable soles and heels for longer life. Sizes 6 to 14 triple E. Buy quality, buy Canadian. And support Canada West and Diablo, the two best names in the boot business. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Buy Canadian. They're terrific. It's happened again, and construction season is in full swing. Job delayed, money lost, and clients disappointed because your rigging failed and it wasn't inspected. Don't let this happen to you. Have your lifting slings, fittings, hoisting tools, and safety harnesses checked with Titan Supply. Titan Supply offers certified on-site and in-house rigging inspections and service, so they can repair it, replace it, and recertify it. Titan Supply in Edmonton, Grand Prairie, Red Deer, and Calgary, and at titansupply.ca. Lift, dig, haul.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 9:43 in Edmonton. Text rolling in 833-401-1440. Duke, is IMAC going to Morgan Wallen too?
I wouldn't appear so. Never heard of him. Doesn't know who he is, and that's fine. I take no issue with that. Different strokes for different folks. But
did you hear?
To me, it's kind of like someone saying, like, "Oh yeah, I've never heard of Taylor Swift."
Schlemmer, did you hear that the Duke is going to Morgan Wallen on Saturday night?
Oh yeah, my wife's going on Friday too.
Oh really?
You're not going, Schlemmer?
I will never go back to a concert at Commonwealth Stadium after what was the last one?
Luke Combs.
Luke Combs. Yeah. Never again, man.
So just too many people,
too many humans, just packed in there like a can of sardines.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for me, being at 2003 at the Heritage Classic.
Yeah,
that to me I think was worse.
What about last year's Heritage Classic?
Same kind of experience, though, right?
I think it was different in 2003.
You can't even move in there. It's not built for that.
Only because of the temperature.
Because people were like clamoring to get down onto the concourse.
You're trying to get in, trying to warm up. I think doing whatever. That's why. I mean, last year's was just fine. I thought, to be honest with you, it was it was like busy, like what you're talking about, but it wasn't like 2003.
But you don't have like all the floor seat people as well, right? Like that's thousands more.
Yeah.
That's miserable.
I just, in 03, people were so cold that like they were coming from the upper deck just trying to get anywhere.
Oh yeah. It was like minus 30 out. That's insanity.
It was funny. I was on the bench though for the alumni game.
Did you have like?
No, on the bench I was sweating. I was too hot.
Really?
I had a sweater on, and that's it. They had those heaters blowing in.
Oh,
I was
okay.
on the Canadiens bench. Gene Principe was on the Oilers bench.
That's cool.
Oh yeah, it was funny. Yeah, I one time I said I was standing beside Bob Gainey for the whole time because he was the coach.
The coach, yeah.
And there was other coaches too, but I just said something. I was maybe to Gainey, but something to the effect of, "I wonder what's the ice like?" And Guy Lafleur turned around and said, "The ice is effing terrible." And I was like, "What?" It's like supersonic hearing on Guy Lafleur. Oh man. Time now for Are You In or Out?
Okay, you know what? Moving too fast. Bottom line, are you in or you out?
In or out of what?
No time for questions. Just action. In or out.
Well, then I'm out.
I'm sorry, Jet. Actually, you're already in.
Are you in or are you out?
On Sports 1440.
I thought you would go, I'm in, Bob. We would have had a really cool moment, but you kind of ruined the whole thing.
All right, Duke. Fire him up.
Edmonton Oilers rookie camp reporting today. Going to get the ice tomorrow on Friday. Lane. They have 3 months subscription to Plus. And what did they ticket price for? $20. $20. Clemmer just said to the game. Said the wife said more small.
Someone's got to watch the kids.
Take them. They love it. They will love it. I'm looking at the full roster list of players attending here this week. The rookie camp, a couple camp-only invites, several players, of course, in the organization, in the system. And I'm running it down, and listen, when the Oilers drafting and trading the way they have the past couple seasons is not exactly a name of list, but I'm looking at, I really realistically only think probably 3 guys on this rookie camp roster will play an NHL game this season.
Okay, Duke, we know who 1 and 2 are.
I think that's pretty obvious. Yeah.
Right. So you're on that same page there as well, Schlemmer?
Yeah, I'm going to be in on this one. The only other guy I see is Bo Akey on D.
Oh, Schlemmer, my guy.
I mean, maybe you could say Janssen. I mean, Kevin's trying to talk me into it.
That would be only an emergency.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if anyone's coming up, it would, Tompkins is coming up, right? If you need an emergency recall or a backup.
Okay, well, I'm in then.
You're in. You think 3 guys?
I think 3 guys. I'd like to see Bo Akey in a game this year.
I don't think he's ready.
Well, I'm not saying out of camp, but
no.
Kevin and I talked about this yesterday, Schlemmer, about Akey and kind of the intrigue around him in this camp. As you know, he's going to be a pro this year. Injuries have set him back. He's kind of stepped back from the premier prospect spotlight a little bit, despite playing for Team Canada. And I just said, like, based almost exclusively on the fact that there's less people to jump to try and get maybe a game in with injuries or bad play. Some of these forwards, even a guy like Quinn Hudson, I understand he's already got a couple games under his belt, but the Oilers have so many forwards ahead of him on the depth chart already at the NHL level, plus Savoy and Howard, plus a guy like that have already played NHL games, Mac Jones, Josh Hamblin. I just think a guy like Hudson would be tough to find an NHL game this year.
Agreed.
So that means you're still in then, Schlemmer. You think there will be 3 guys?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to be out. I'll just, again, the only guy for me that is even close to being at 3 is Quinn Hudson. And I don't even know, I don't think he's ready yet, in the sense that there would have to be so many emergency recalls and injuries for a 3rd guy to get called up here, that, as Duke mentions, ahead of even guys like Regula on the back end, Brown, all these guys are going to get called first ahead of Akey.
They will at first, but I don't know. There's something to be said about having like a good young stud who has an awesome start to his first full pro season, and they're thinking maybe we get him into a game before Christmas here, see what he looks like.
And as discussed yesterday, Kevin, like, Akey does things that guys like Regula and Brown can't. Like, he's a little bit more instinctual offensively. Maybe they're not looking for that at when the time comes for an emergency recall, but it gives him an inside track in my line of sight on it.
I think he's got a shot over the course of the full season.
I think so.
I'll go out. I'll just say there'd be 2.
Just the 2. Yeah. Our NHL previews continue to roll around the NHL with a stop in Philadelphia today. Our good friend Jordan Hall will check in the 10 o'clock hour. 0 30 goal scorers on the Flyers team last year. Matvei Michkov paced the team with 26, Tyson Forster 25, and then Travis Konechny and Owen Tippett with 24 and 20 respectively. This year, I do not think the Flyers are going to be a very good team. I think they might be a fun team to watch at times with some of the youthful talent that they have on both the forward and defensive groups. I think that they could have 30 goal scorers. And to me, they are Michkov, Konechny, and Owen Tippett.
I'm going to be in. I like it, Duke. I really like it. So you say Michkov at 26, Konechny at 24, Tippett at 20.
Tippett at 20, but he has scored 28 and 27 in the 2 years prior.
Yeah, and well, so you're not even talking about a guy like Tyson Forster.
Yeah, I see him
25.
as like a 25 goal guy. Could he like upside to 30? Sure, maybe. But I'm thinking like you bring in a guy like Zegras, a little bit more puck distribution if he can stay in the lineup. Like offensively, this team has some jam up front. They might give up 6 goals a night because the goaltending is still a big question mark. And some of these young forwards aren't as inclined to play defensive hockey. But I think they should be able to put the puck in the net.
Maybe there's a different outlook too with Torts out and Rick Tocchet in. You still have to be responsible with a guy like Tocchet, or you're not going to play. But I don't think he's to that extent where he handles players like Torts. So,
yeah, but he is hard. Personally, I think I'm going to be out on this one. I think 2 of the 3 guys, Michkov, Konechny, Tippett, will get 30. I'm actually shocked that Forster scored 26 last year.
That did really surprise me when I pulled up the full list. Full disclosure.
I mean, they got Tippett right now looking like he's going to be on the second line with Dvorak and Zegras. You know, 2 new.
You're right over there, Josh. This guy's having a fit.
Holy cow, man!
May the Lord bless with you.
I do think Zegras is going to struggle a bit with Tocchet. I don't think that's going to be a seamless transition. Forster, I'll be shocked honestly if he gets 26 again. That's impressive, but I'm going to be out on this one.
Our friend Stephen Elks over at the Daily Faceoff dropping his top 10 Calder candidates for this upcoming season. Some familiar names, one of which, actually several of them, getting in at the end of last year from the college game. Ivan Demidov, currently on all sports books, a heavy favorite to win the award for the league's top rookie.
Josh, man.
he's
sneezing attack.
He's currently going off at plus 160 or around that. Clear-cut favorite, if we're looking outside of Demidov, is maybe a longer shot on the Calder Trophy. My next best bet would be the defenseman in Minnesota, Zeev Boom.
Well, I guess I'll take this one first, too, because I did say like 3 weeks ago on this show that Zeev Boom was my pick for the Calder.
Wow. Way to go.
So, yeah, I'll be in on that. I think this kid is going to be an absolute stud. And I know it's harder for D usually when they first step into the league, but just watching him in the playoffs last year, I think he's going to be a big factor.
Seemed okay for Lane Hudson, eh?
Yeah.
So you're saying he's going to be number 2, Duke?
I think, like, listen, the odds say that Demidov is a runaway favorite, but that we know that by the time the year ends, that's not always the case who ends up winning it. So I think Boom could definitely be a finalist, have a good chance at winning it. He does seem pretty clearly in line to play top 4 minutes in Minnesota. Alongside probably Jared Spurgeon, I would think, on the second pairing, most likely, if everybody's healthy. Some of these other guys, like there's a lot of other defensemen on Ellis's list, like Nikishkin in Carolina, Sam Renzel in Chicago, who else? Schaefer, of course, on Long Island. I just wonder if some of those opportunities might be as good as what Boom is going to be afforded in Minnesota.
I'm going to be out on this one, Duke, and I will even give you my Calder Trophy winner. It'll be Jimmy Snuggerud in St. Louis.
Really?
Yep.
I had his name written down first, and I switched it to Boom.
Did you really?
Question. Yeah, I did.
Oh, man.
Because Snugger was St. Louis, another team that who'd they trade to Montreal? Bolduc?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Like there's a guy that all of a sudden there's a space for Snuggerud to play hopefully some top 6 minutes. Once again, we're talking opportunity, production. Those are things that usually lead to voting inside the Calder Trophy.
He played last year, quite a bit.
And he looked. I thought he looked quite good in the playoffs.
Like how many games did he play? He's still up for the Calder, hey?
Well, you need to play 25
Okay.
in a single season to
Gotcha.
disqualify. I believe that's the number, or at least it used to be.
Jimmy Snuggerud played 7 games last year. Had
Gotcha.
1 goal, 3 assists. University of Minnesota, he had 24 goals, 27 assists. I just think a little bit older, I don't know. So,
Yeah, great pick.
Yeah.
Number 4, over to the major leagues of baseball. Toronto Blue Jays taking the lid lifter last night against Houston. Comeback fashion, as they have shown a proclivity to do. However, some tough news is Bo Bichette has been placed on the injured list, 10-day. We'll keep him out of the lineup for the next couple of weeks. The player that will most need to elevate their game in Bichette's absence, and maybe this is a bit of a cop-out because he's the guy that's probably going to take most of his reps defensively as well. I'm going with Ernie Clement.
I can't argue this, Duke. Only because he's going to see that time that's short. And, you can't ask any more from Vladdy, batting .567 in September. Springer hits another dinger yesterday. Barger had a key double. They didn't cash him in yesterday. He's starting to turn it around a little bit after being in the dumper here after he was called out for a little bit of
juicing.
Yeah. But I'll just say Clement only because he's the guy that's, and I mean, shortstop is such a pivotal position defensively. So, and he can hold his own. So, going to be in. There's a lot of guys like even look at IKF, and I know I crapped on there last week.
I'll say
I did. Well,
the first game back in a Jays uniform, and you're like, "What's this guy doing here? He stinks."
At third base, Duke.
Pretty big hit last.
At third base, he is the third option.
Yeah, well, he's a like I don't even think platoon player is the right option. He is a pure bench player for this team.
So anyway,
but you need everyone contributing, right?
And that was once again on full display last night.
I say last night's a perfect example of what a comeback. I think obviously I'll be into, just like you said. If this is the guy that's going to be replacing him at shortstop, but on a side note, I do think that this is the time of the year where everyone needs to contribute. Like you say, IKF coming in and big 2-run single in the 9th, even the fielder's choice to win it.
Yeah,
it's huge.
Yeah, Clement is his roughest month in July. He only batted .212, a little bit better through August, .258. But so far through the early going of September, he's already hitting .278 again, which is much closer to where he was in the early going first half of the season, where he was one of my picks for kind of like unsung heroes, MVPs of the team. So he should be a regular in the lineup now. Hopefully those regular at-bats can get things going for him, and he can keep playing some solid defensive ball too. Before wrapping it up, pony off of that, Guerrero has been nails in the last couple weeks here. He is showing why he gets paid the money that the contract he did. Do you think there is another level that Guerrero needs to ascend to here? Because we're talking about the 2 best players on the team. They're Bo Bichette and Vlad Guerrero Jr.
Maybe
one of them is
power.
not here.
Maybe maybe a tad more power. And we're splitting hairs here because he's getting on base all the time.
I'm gonna say, like, how much do you love that from a star player beating out that infield at the unbelievable defensive play to third base? Like, that's leadership.
So just a tiny bit more power, only because in the playoffs, Duke, you know how it's so much tougher to score runs in the playoffs, and it always seems that the team that can get that home run with a man on, that's going to be the difference. And if he could just up his power, and I'm talking home runs because he hits gaps all the time.
Yeah.
Just maybe a tad more home run power.
Finally, Kevin, you alluded to it earlier. You talked about it with your buddies over at K97 this morning. It is National TV Dinner Day. And despite the abhorrent disgust of Ladislav Schmid, if you're listening right now, to eating something of a TV dinner nature, sometimes it's what you got, right? Whether maybe you're a younger person and it's just puts all you have in the freezer, or you're in a pinch, you had to pick one. You have to pick one, an entree to eat in frozen TV dinner fashion. I think you play it safe, keep it down the line, keep it easy. Spaghetti and meatballs with the red sauce. That seems as safe of a bet as you can go.
I always go last on 5. You know that.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I don't know. I'm kind of with Laddie on these.
Ooh, I'm Schlemmer. I played in the NHL. I don't have to eat TV dinners.
They're kind of gross.
They
you know what? If I had to pick a frozen meal to eat, I'd probably just pick a frozen pizza.
Does that count?
That doesn't count.
Mike,
okay,
it's in the microwave. It's a microwave.
Okay, well, I guess I'd probably go with like the Salisbury steak one with that has like a little bit of gravy or something on there. Yeah.
Well, old Sam, the intern's had about 75 pizza pops here since he started.
In
2 weeks ago.
his first
It's
week.
It's like, where are you getting these things from? You buying them in bulk at Costco or
The
what?
Costco pack, baby.
I'll be out 100%, Duke. And I know, Duke, that you got probably about 80 of those Michelinas stacked.
No, the freezer's been empty on the Michelinas for quite a while. When I first moved into this place and I was like, didn't have a lot of cookware or even plates or anything, it was like, yeah, I'll just keep a bunch of these stashed in here for when I get home late from something and need to eat. But no, now I haven't had any Michelinas in the freezer for probably close to a year now.
Okay, two things here. The TV dinners have gone so far downhill here since the old Swanson TV dinners in the aluminum package. Which
you can't put that in the microwave.
That's the whole thing, Duke. That's what the problem with TV dinners is now. It goes into the microwave, no good. You got it. The old ones back in the day in the tin foil compartments, each one's different. Schlemmer, the gravy you're talking about, unreal.
So were you putting those in the oven?
So you have to fire that in the oven?
Yeah, you got to put them in the oven.
Toaster
So
oven?
how is that any more convenient than cooking a meal?
Well, you don't have to actually make the food.
Yeah.
It's heated up.
I don't know.
Anyway, it has to be the Hungry Man dinner. You're getting the chicken. They used to have chicken, the real chicken with bones in it. Now you can't find those anywhere. Not that I've had them, but now
Oh yeah, right.
I haven't.
Not that you're out there looking for them, but you know that they don't exist.
Man, well, back in the day, 20 some years ago, but they had the real chicken, and they'd give you the worst pieces, the wing, the drumstick, because you got 3 pieces, and then they had some other piece that looked like a nugget in there.
I like the wing and the drumstick.
Yeah, but not on the TV dinner.
I like the dirty bird.
Kev on his big Hungry Man TV dinners, they used to like the hot cranberry sauce in the corner of the one little compartment.
The other one too is that you had to peel back where the chocolate cake was.
Yeah.
To make sure that it got the right amount of air in there or something.
But you don't know much about these, hey?
No, wow. But it's true. I mean, and even Beerman says Salisbury steak TV dinner is the answer.
I think that's a pretty
Little
good
gravy.
answer. I do.
Yeah, that's the safe bet for me.
Because
Anyway.
like for the pasta ones, like that seems safe, right? But I would not be venturing into the white sauce on a frozen TV, like a fettuccine Alfredo frozen dinner. Pass.
Man. I'll bet you any money, Duke, you got a few of the Michelinas.
My freezer is bare. I'm out of meat. I'm out of hamburger, like from the farm. I've been on Dad to see if we can get even just a cull cow or something butchered so I can restock with some hamburger.
That grocery store beef.
No, none of that trash. My sister was supposed to bring some up last. Actually, I shouldn't say that. My sister did. She brought up it's at my other sister's in Leduc, so I just need to go get it. But my mom was supposed to bring it when she picked me up for that wedding last weekend, but she forgot it.
I see that though. Like it doesn't even look the same.
No.
Like it is quite a bit different.
I like it au naturel.
Man, we had smash burgers the other day, Duke.
Last night.
Good as you'd hype.
Did you?
Yeah, I made smash burgers last night.
What
Dynamite.
did that, Duke? It's what?
Because you'd been talking it up when you were doing
yeah.
the smash burgers. So
Yeah.
I just want to know if
You
they
got the
turned
nice
out as
little
well.
the presser.
Yeah, I got the Blackstone.
Oh,
on the deck.
You know the key,
Kevin. Do you have a flat top?
No, I don't. Like I have I put.
Oh,
the
but like
pan
it
on-
just sits on the bar.
Yeah, but it's a really good one. So
of course.
No. I've been looking at that Blackstone too, though, Schlemmer.
They're nice, yeah.
Yeah.
They kind of suck to clean up. So if you're going to use it, you want it kind of like, it's got to be worth it. You got to be making a big meal for everyone.
I don't know how much it costs, but I saw one that it's the triple. So it's got the Blackstone on one side,
Yeah.
the grill on the other, and then underneath is the pizza oven.
Oh, wow. That sounds pretty awesome.
That sounds like a good future retirement gift for Kevin Karius.
Hey, yeah, why
He's
not?
never going to retire, man.
That's what I mean. So we'll never have to pitch on it.
Loves it too much.
But it's a good idea, good concept.
Good stuff. A lot of even Northside Adam. I had a Hungry Man meal not too long ago. It was pretty good.
Not great.
Duke, I'm going to bring you in a nice frozen dinner that's made fresh from scratch, and you're going to go enough of the Michelinas.
I told you, I ain't on the Michelinas.
Michelinas is like the cheapest frozen dinner you can
No,
get.
you
Those are
you
like
can,
$1 from the
you can
grocery
get cheaper.
store.
You can get cheaper.
What's the
like in the frozen food aisle? So whatever you're shopping, if it's at Walmart, it's great value, or if you're at Superstore, it's no name. But they say there's the frozen dinners, but just the generic one. And listen, do they taste any better or worse than the Michelinas or the Hungry Man's? I don't know. I think they're all pretty bad, all the same.
Probably a little bit worse.
Maybe a little bit worse. Maybe.
Duke has been getting a reprieve from the heat in the frozen food section. Good stuff. When we come back, we got Jordan Hall coming up at 10:20. Before all that time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Harley Davidson of Edmonton on the Yellowhead Trail. Locally owned and operated by the Kent family and celebrating 45 years. Harley Davidson on Yellowhead Trail in Edmonton. Check them out. Here is the Duke.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Another full slate in the major leagues today. Blue Jays going for game number 2 at home against the Astros. Jose Barrios taking the hill for Toronto. First pitch coming just after 5 o'clock. Elsewhere, Brewers continue their set in Texas against the Rangers. Athletics hosting the Red Sox out west. Giants playing the D-backs. Mets in Philadelphia. Yankees hosting the Tigers for game 2 of that series. Rays are in the south side of Chicago against the White Sox. And the Mariners hosting the St. Louis Cardinals. Off the field, 3-time All-Star first baseman Anthony Rizzo announcing his retirement this morning. Rizzo played 14 seasons with the Padres, Cubbies, and Yankees, winning the 2016 World Series with the Cubbies. Finally, WNBA, one game on the slate tonight. The Atlanta Dream look at their 30th win of the campaign when they head to Connecticut to play the Sun. Coming up in hour 4, the Kevin Karius Show will be joined by Jordan Hall from NBC Sports in Philadelphia covering the Flyers. I'm Brandon Douglas, Central Sports 1440 Update.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
When you have lifting and material handling needs, Northwest Crane delivers. Western Canada's Sandy dealer, backed by the industry's toughest one. 3 years, 3,000 hours, no compromises. They service all crane makes and models with skilled technicians and deep industry expertise. Alberta owned with locations in Leduc and Grand Prairie and fully equipped service trucks. Northwest Crane keeps your operation lifting. For more information on sales or service, visit northwestcrane.com or call today.
Listen up, because you're not going to want to miss this. Right now is your chance to get in on Play Alberta's biggest offer ever. For a limited time only, new players can get up to a $1,000 casino bonus when they sign up. There's never been a better time to join the fun. Visit playalberta.ca today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
Blue Jays fans, this weekend and every weekend, you can catch Toronto Blue Jays ball games right here on Sports 1440. Ben Schulman provides the play-by-play. You provide the chips and beer. Check out the Blue Jays this weekend on Edmonton's home for sports. Sports 1440.
The ATB Classic is returning to Northern Bear Golf Club.
An international field of professionals will battle it out on their path towards the PGA Tour.
Advance tickets are $20 or upgrade your access to sit greenside in the Sports 1440 Birdie Bar. Presented by Sleeman.
Net proceeds go to Youth on Course to give kids age 6 to 18 access to play golf for just $5.
Come see the future stars of the PGA Tour.
The ATB Classic.
September 11th to 14th.
Get your tickets at atbclassic.com.
For the pulse-pounding excitement of Indian relay races.
This is the original extreme sport. 3 teams, 1 wild season, and they're all chasing glory.
To be successful, it can't ride safe.
Horse Warriors. It's on Thursday nights on APTN TV. You're gonna love it.
All right.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 10-11 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne, and David Schlemko with you on Sports 1440. We're streaming on YouTube as well. iMac texted in and said about Michelinas, they're awesome, but not $1 because you got to eat 7 or 8 of them to fill up.
Oh, yeah, they're pretty small packs, hey?
Beef stroganoff is the one. I don't know, man.
I just don't think that would be my pick.
I don't know. Again,
It's like a mushroom gravy. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's iffy for me.
I had, I was going to have chili for supper last night. So I had a nice little frozen container, got it ready to go. And I had forgotten that I had taken 5 corn on the cob off and I had them ready to go. And then I went outside. I said, oh yeah, I was supposed to have this for supper. Just dumb.
Both?
No, I just left the chili for today.
There you go.
Left the chili for today. Matt and Leduc says, love the New Orleans is sinking song. But after this year, it'll be forever be Pigeon Lake is blue-green, and I don't want to swim. It's pretty bad out there, I heard. Have you heard about?
I feel like it just gets a little bit worse every year.
Yeah.
A little bit earlier in the summer that you just can't go in. That sucks.
I can honestly say I've never been in Pigeon Lake swimming.
Really?
I've never been on the lake.
Wow. I used to go to Mamio Beach as a kid all the time, and then we'd go camping there in high school. Not a lot of rules out there.
Yeah. Well, we've golfed at Black Bull many times.
Yeah.
Great tough course.
Been into the village at Pigeon Lake there?
I don't know.
No. It's right by Black Bull.
Yeah. Well, we had a guy, like an old camera guy, had a cabin out there, sort of.
Yeah.
So we would zip out there.
Well, that's what I think would suck. I mean, you got a beautiful cabin on a nice lake close to the city, and then you can't even swim in the lake.
Yeah. Not Fred. We're on the same page, baby. I grew up on Swanson TV dinners when I was young, but that was back when they were tinfoil. You had to put them in the oven. Didn't have a microwave like the rich kids. So what would happen is, if you ever did buy a TV dinner, you saved that tinfoil compartment thing.
Yeah.
And then your mom or whatever, your grandma, they would use those and make their own dinners and put them in the freezer. But each one had, it was like, like this is before there was the Tupperware with all the containers and all the little, where you'd have this compartment for that compartment.
Right.
And then people use those TV dinners.
That's good. Not leaching all the microplastics into your body like these days.
Yes. Eh? Also, that's, remember, the TV dinner, the tray. People had those trays, and it was you used to have it it would fold up for storage, and you'd bring it out, you'd put it in front of by your knees on the couch. And that's how, because people would watch TV. That, we're talking 50 some years ago, 60, when TVs came in and people stopped eating around the dinner table as much as they did.
All right.
And it was why it was the TV dinner.
What'd you watch when you were having TV dinners back in the day?
Price is Right.
Price is Right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Back in the day. Or else probably the cartoons. Like on the weekend, on Saturdays, because we didn't have much TV. Saturday at 5:00 was Hockey Night in Canada. But on Sundays was the Wonderful World Walt Disney. So that was at 5, 6 o'clock.
So that's on at dinner time.
That was on, and if on Montana Rice, he continues to grease me all the time. 50 years ago, your first year on Global. Yeah. But that's the truth. On a Saturday especially, we'd play hockey all day, Schlemmer, outside, come in around 4 o'clock, just frozen.
Yeah.
Thaw out for an hour, and then watch Hockey Night in Canada at 5 o'clock. And in front. So we would always eat in front of the TV.
There's only one game back then.
Only one game, yeah, 5 bells. And after that, Tommy Hunter was on. If Low Tide was in here, he'd be saying the exact same things.
Sorry,
so what did you do? I mean, so what did you eat in front of the walk in front of the TV when you're?
I don't know. We never ate dinner in front of the TV. Honestly, we had a big wall separating the kitchen and the living room, so we did it old school, I guess, and just talk to each other.
Yeah, exactly. Saturday afternoon for Not Fred, 1:00, roller derby. Stampede Wrestling also, that was in the afternoon on Saturday.
Stampede Wrestling.
That ring-a-ding-dong dandy.
Did you hear the Stampede Wrestling guy that was on with Gregor yesterday?
No. What time? I got to check it out.
I can't remember his name.
What?
I'll look it up for you. Because Gregor, also a huge Stampede Wrestling fan like yourself. Yeah. And when Connor was telling me about this guest, I was like, oh, Kevin's going to love this.
Oh, man, I got to check it out. IMAX says it's $1 for the Michelinas. My per diem was a bit lower than yours, Schlemmer. Oh, man. Pods text in, my brother swam from Mulhurst to the beach north of the village on Pigeon Lake.
That's a long swim.
I hope it wasn't yesterday.
Mulhurst is the only place around Pigeon that, actually I shouldn't say that, recently that I've been to. 4-H camp that back in the day used to be at Pigeon Lake.
What's smelling over here? You guys got the pizza pops going now or what?
No, Josh has reheated a cheeseburger, but he doesn't have a bun for it, so he's eating it out of a paper towel.
You know, you guys got to get a little bit more just with it.
We ran out of buns. The bread got in the deep freeze. I'm not going out.
Oh man, this is so weak. We're going right off the rails here. But when we come back, Jordan Hall, NBCS Philadelphia. It's the Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne and David Schlemko on Sports 1440, and we're streaming on YouTube.
God said, I need somebody to get up before dawn, milk cows, work all day in the fields, milk cows again, eat supper, go to town, and stay all night at a meeting at the school board. So God made a farmer.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. We are so thankful God made a farmer. For the month of September, it is our goal to feed 500 families. With every vehicle sold, we will feed a family of 4. So please help us reach our goal. Visit us online at northgategm.com.
The Spruce Grove Saints home opener is Friday, September 19th, and you don't want to miss it. The Saints will be playing their first game in the brand new Thompson Family Arena as they host league champion Brooks Bandits at 7 p.m. With a completely new and exciting in-game experience, including a state-of-the-art Jumbotron, the Thompson Family Arena will be the place to be. Don't miss the Spruce Grove Saints home opener, September 19th. For tickets, visit tickets.sgsaints.ca.
$1 plus tax for a smooth, small premium roast coffee at McDonald's? That means rich, full-bodied flavor at a price that's just as satisfying. Must be McCafe. Enjoy a small McCafe premium roast coffee for just $1 plus tax at participating McDonald's in Canada. Prices exclude delivery.
Edmonton's only 24-hour-a-day sports radio station. Can be heard anytime, anywhere. Sports 1440 is streaming on your phone, your tablet, your computer. Download an app today and listen to Sports 1440.
That's the sound of Harley you've been dreaming about. And this is the sound of opportunity knocking. And it's coming from Harley-Davidson of Edmonton.
Our end of season sale is on, and we're clearing the floor with unbelievable prices on a huge selection of pre-owned bikes. This is your moment to own the legend.
Find your dream machine at Harley-Davidson of Edmonton on the Yellowhead Trail. Locally owned and operated by the Kent family and celebrating 45 years.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 25% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until October 18th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Are you relying on credit cards to make ends meet? Are you making just the minimum payment and carrying a balance month after month? It's time to break free from the debt spiral and take control of your finances. I'm Parveen Middleton, licensed insolvency trustee at BDO here in Edmonton. During a free consultation, I can explain all your debt relief options and stop your credit card bills from piling up. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to discover your debt-free future.
just in time for the morning skate. This is the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 10:21 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, David Schlemko with you, Duke of Delburne on Sports 1440. Time now for the Puck Report, brought to you by Fountain Tire. Are you ready to swap your tires out this fall? Well, Fountain Tire makes it easy. Saves you cash, too. Get $50 off tire storage with the purchase of a new set of tires September the 2nd through to the end of the month, all the way to the 30th. No more stacking tires in the garage. Let us handle it. See select locations for details. As we welcome back Jordan Hall from NBCS in Philadelphia. Morning, Jordan. You're with Kevin Karius once again and the former NHLer, David Schlemko. Thanks for jumping on Sports 1440 this morning. Really appreciate it.
Of course, my pleasure. Great to be with you guys again. How you doing?
Doing great up here. Just like you guys down there. Looking forward to rookie camp. The Oilers get underway tomorrow. Flyers, similar. What are you looking for here at rookie camp as things get going in Philly, Jordan?
Well, the Flyers definitely have a bigger group of prospects now. They've really put an emphasis on drafting and developing. So rookie camp definitely brings some intrigue. Probably not as much intrigue as last year. Matvei Michkov was in rookie camp last year, so fans were just totally abuzz about him. But there's still some really good quality prospects that I think everyone's intrigued to see. And one of them is Alex Bump, a fifth rounder from 2022, who has really blossomed into one of their better prospects. And he's probably the camp headliner, a guy that's going to be pushing for the big clubs roster. He won a national championship at Western Michigan, was a 2-year guy in college, over a point per game player, can score some goals. So I think most fans are going to be keeping their eye on him. And a couple of other guys like Jet Luchenko, who was a 2024 first rounder, and Ala Rabank, a defenseman, who was drafted in the first round in 2023. So a lot of youth here in Philadelphia that I think some fans are excited about.
Is Luchenko ready to roll? A little bit of an injury earlier, or how's he doing?
Yeah, he was dealing with a groin issue this summer in July. He couldn't get on the ice at development camp, but it sounds like he'll be good to go. He needs to be checked by team doctors and trainers, pretty much like, all players do. But the Flyers are hoping he'll be cleared and be good to go. And this is a guy that played for the Flyers last year. John Tortorella, the former head coach, really liked him, and he got an audition here before going back to junior hockey. I think it's most likely that he'll go back to junior hockey for his final year. He'll play in World Juniors for Team Canada and then be pushing for pro next season. But I wouldn't rule out him maybe opening some eyes and maybe getting a look here.
Well, how about some of the veterans that have proven themselves already? Maybe a new look second line here with Christian Dvorak and Trevor Zegras. It looks like on the depth chart that they might be throwing in with Owen Tippett. Is that a combination you expect to see? And maybe what do you expect from these two guys?
I certainly think that's possible. I think Trevor Zegras is going to get a look at center in their top 6. The Flyers have really needed more centers. It's been a position that they've needed to address, and they feel like they did that to an extent this summer by bringing in Zegras via trade and signing Dvorak in free agency. Dvorak, I think, is a guy that's going to be a really good bottom 6 option for them. He has a previous relationship with Rick Tocchet. He was with him in Arizona where he had career highs and even played on the power play a little bit. So I think Dvorak's going to get a look because of Tocchet and Tocchet knowing what he can do. And Zegras, of course, is highly skilled, highly talented, and I think the Flyers are hoping he'll be that rookie sophomore guy that put up 60-plus points with the Ducks, and not the guy that really struggled over the last 2 years with injury and saw his points dip. He started to play the wing in Anaheim. I think they're going to give him a look at center and see if he can be trustworthy enough and play the full length of the rink. And, of course, really, I think give them a boost offensively from a talent standpoint. So maybe he'll get a look with Matvei Michkov a little bit. And Dvorak, I think, is a guy that can just play a little bit everywhere, which the Flyers will really like.
Jordan Hall with us from NBCS Philadelphia. Kevin Karius, David Schlemko with you on Sports 1440. We have a little segment, Jordan, called Are You In or Are You Out? One of the questions today goes like this, and we'll see what your answer is. Last year, there were 0 30-goal scorers on the Philadelphia Flyers. They will have 3 30 goal scorers this year. Would you be in or out on that one, Jordan?
Ooh, that is a good one. I'm going to have to say out. I do think if it was 2, I would say yes, because I could see Matvei Mishkov getting there this year. I could see Travis Konechny getting there this year. But I'm not sure about 3. I would have to see it first to believe it. But I do think they have some guys that can do it. The 2 I just mentioned, I think Owen Tippett has 30-goal potential. Absolutely. So I wouldn't be totally surprised, but I would have to see it to believe it first. So I'll say
Great answer. Great answer, Jordan.
I went in. Jordan Schlemmer went out.
I'm with David there.
You know what? I want to ask you about this guy, Latvian Rodrigo Abols. Looks like he's slotted in on the 4th line, maybe the toughest 4th line in hockey between my old teammate Delorier and another guy who likes to mix it up, Garnet Hathaway. What type of player is Abols? Is he ready for the amount of scrums he's going to get into after every whistle this year?
He definitely has the size for it. He is really, really tall and long. Like, he's not crazy built, but he's got great length, and he just plays a pro style game. He played on the Latvian national teams. He's got experience in the SHL. Just a guy that you can trust out there. And he came up here and opened some eyes in his stint that he got with the Flyers. People knew he could play on the 4th line. He would maybe provide a little secondary offense. He could kill some penalties. Just has a really good build that he can protect the puck and play that 4th line role. So I think he's still fighting for a roster spot. I don't think he's a shoe-in to play on the 4th line come opening night. But I think he just gives the Flyers good depth. There's a reason why they brought him back after they gave him a 1-year deal and kind of a prove-it year. They brought him back. I think they think he'll be a really good AHL player who, when his number is called upon for the NHL, he'll be ready. So, I think the Flyers have liked so far what they've gotten from him, and just has really good 4th line ingredients with his size and his professional experience overseas.
Jordan Hall with us on Sports 1440. What's been the initial reaction, Jordan, with the hiring of Rick Tocchet to take over as head coach?
A guy that's beloved here within the fan base, especially the older portion of the fan base who saw him play and become a Flyers Hall of Famer. His name is up in the rafters here in Philadelphia at Xfinity Mobile Arena. So he's held in high regard, and I think the Flyers really like his ability to develop younger players, and they think he'll be good for player development and probably giving players a little more leash. John Tortorella laid a good foundation here of accountability and playing the right way, but he was hard to win over at times. And I think the Flyers were looking for a coach that would be a little more of a player's coach and maybe give a little more freedom. Denny Brer even said it, the GM, when he hired Rick Tocchet, that they were looking for a guy that would allow their players to play to their strengths a little bit more. So I think they feel he'll do that, and also he'll attract players in free agency. The Flyers are getting close. Probably next season, well, they'll have some money coming off the books. The cap, of course, is going up, and I think they feel like they're going to be in a better spot to attract free agents, and they feel like Rick Tocchet is a coach that guys will want to play for. I think that is the feeling around the league, that he's very well connected from his years as a head coach, from his years working as a studio analyst, that people will want to come to play here. And that's, I think, was the big picture goal of hiring Rick Tocchet.
So I guess what type of hockey are we going to see the Rick Tocchet Flyers play? I mean, historically, the Flyers are obviously a tough team, hard to play against. I mean, meshes real well with the way Rick Tocchet played. Just looking at Vancouver, that's not necessarily the way they played. I didn't think they were a real hard team to play against. So maybe just expectations for what style of hockey.
I think Tocchet will want the Flyers to keep that hard to play against mentality. Like John Tortorella really rebuilt that here. They were trying to not only rebuild into a contender, but really rebuild their standard and culture. And Tortorella definitely did that. Like, they weren't a walkover anymore. They played a certain way. But I think Tocchet's still going to want to try to incorporate more offense and allow players to show their offensive skills. Like, Tocchet's unique because he was definitely a hard-nosed player that scored goals, that fought. But I think he has a very good pulse of what works in today's game. And he said at his introductory press conference, he wants to untap and unleash some of the talent that they have here. So I think he's going to try to get the most out of guys like Matvei Mishkov, Owen Tippett, Travis Konechny. Try to have a good relationship with the captain, Sean Couturier, who didn't quite have a good relationship with John Tortorella here. So I think he's looking to unleash some of the talent they have and take this to another gear, but also not forget the hard to play against mentality that the Flyers still want to have. They want to make it a tough building to come in and play against here in Philadelphia.
Jordan Hall with us on Sports 1440. What do you make of what's going on in the crease here, Jordan, in the sense that they signed Dan Vladar? Can he be the number one guy? Is it a split with Samuel Ersson? Where's Fedotov fit in here? What do you think shakes down here?
Yeah, goaltending is by far the biggest question for the Flyers going into the season, and it's been the biggest question over the past 2 or 3 years. It's always kind of historically plagued the Flyers, but most recently, last 2 seasons, last in the league in save percentage. 2 years ago, they were tied for last season last. And that was under a coach in John Tortorella who really prevented shots. Like, they were all about defense first and making life easier on their goaltender, and they just still did not get the saves. So that will be the biggest question was, did they address it enough with Dan Vladar, who's been a career backup? But they believe he can play more. His career high in games is 30. They feel like he can push the envelope and do more and really create an environment where him and Samuel Ersson are working off each other and creating a tandem where it's going to be performance-based. If that goaltender is going well at that time, he'll get the games. But they still have guys like Ivan Fedotov and Alexei Kolosov who didn't really answer the bell last year, but they still have some hope for it. Even Keith Jones today, the president of hockey operations, said he's not going to write those 2 guys off. Like, they're going to be here to compete and try to get better. They're still young in their NHL experience. So it's a real open competition, but I think to start the season, it will be Samuel Ersson's net, and it's going to be Vladar really, really pushing Ersson. Danny Briere even challenged his goalies at the end of the season. He said it hasn't been good enough, and he's going to bring in outside help. He brought in Vladar, and I think they're hoping he's going to push everyone here for starts. But still, it's something that you're going to have to see it first to believe it, to see if they'll get the necessary saves to kind of get this thing moving forward.
What about the back end, Jordan? Obviously, Travis Sanheim is probably your number one, your rock back there. But I'm looking at guys like Drysdale and Cam Yark, 23, 24 years old. Do you see one of these guys kind of having a big year, making a jump into that kind of upper echelon?
They're really hoping so. York is a guy that underperformed last year. He battled injury. He didn't have the best relationship with John Tortorella, or at least last season it just got rocky and it just kind of fizzled. They're really hoping he rebounds because I think they believe he's a top pair guy. They signed him to an extension this offseason, and they drafted him over Cole Caulfield, the draft that they took him. So they still have high hopes for him, and I think they're hoping he rebounds. And then Drysdale's a guy that they acquired in the Cutter Gauthier trade, and he was a guy that everyone thought was, okay, a top 4 defenseman with great puck moving ability. Similarly to York, he's battled some health issues, but I think they know he's still young, and you don't write off defensemen early. So these are 2 guys that I think if they take the necessary strides, the Flyers will look a whole lot deeper defensively. And what they're going to ask them to do is just push the puck and create offense. Like that's the strength of those 2 guys is they can get the puck up ice and make things happen from a point production standpoint. If they're going well, I think the Flyers will be a pretty deep defensive group with some youth and a couple of vets in Sanheim and Nick Seeler to kind of carry the way defensively.
Jordan, as always, thanks for your time. What do we got for practice tomorrow, right, for the rookies? And then is it a Friday game against the Rangers?
Yes, rookie camp. They're on the ice at 11 a.m. At the practice facility. And then they have 2 rookie games against the Rangers in Allentown, PA, which is where the Flyers AHL affiliate plays. A really nice minor league venue. So a couple of games and some young players I think that will be exciting to watch in game action.
Looking forward to it.
I actually lived there for a bit, Jordan. A couple months. My last year pro. Lived in that Renaissance Hotel. Beautiful.
Yes, I remember the trade that you were acquired in, and I remember you reporting to the Phantom. So that was I did not know that was your last year of pro.
Yeah. Finished my time in Allentown, baby.
Don't you remember, Jordan? Don't you know, Jordan, that Billy Joel wrote that song "Living Here in Allentown"? That was about Schlemmer's last few days there in Allentown.
That's right. That was for David's last year of professional hockey. That was nice of him to write that.
Good stuff, Jordan. Thanks for coming on. I'm sure we'll talk soon as the season gets going here. Best of luck covering camp, and we'll talk soon. Thanks a lot.
Thanks so much as always, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, that's Jordan Hall, NBCS in Philadelphia, and the Puck Report, brought to you by Fountain Tire. Swap those tires out. You get $50 off tire storage with the purchase of a new set of tires. Check them out at fountaintire.com. Frank Saravalli reporting a few minutes ago, and this is going to blow your mind. If this is, Frank reports that it's true. Sources say Minnesota Wild superstar Kirill Kaprizov's camp turned down an extension offer believed to be 8 years, $128 million, in a meeting Tuesday in Minnesota that would have made him the highest paid player in NHL history in both AAV, that's $16 million a year, 2 more than Leon, and total dollars.
Wow.
So I'm not sure. Okay. As a former player, Schlemmer, I mean, this is money that it's life altering, it's life changing for generations in your family.
It's bananas.
So what do you want? I don't understand. I'll be honest. If I'm management here, and if I'm Bill Guerin and I'm the Leopold family, and I say, Kirill, we're going to pay you more than what Leon signed by $2 million a year. We're going to give you $128 million. Obviously, that camp wants. I don't know how much more money they could want. Maybe they want less term. Don't know.
I'm not sure. That's crazy to me. Obviously, that's crazy to turn down 16 times 8. You'd be the highest paid player in the league. I mean, I think the Leopold family or the ownership group made a little bit of a mistake, maybe coming out early and saying this is going to be the biggest contract in NHL history. We're going to give him whatever he wants, blah, blah, blah. Like, he's not Connor McDavid at the end of the day. So I don't know. Did they not learn from throwing $100 million at Parise and Suter?
Don't know. The other way around, I'm looking at it from the Leopold and Bill Guerin going, we just offered you the biggest contract in NHL history, and you said no. And again, this is all that it's true here.
And apparently he loves it there.
I'm saying you're gone. See you later.
I don't know if they can afford to do that.
And this leads to be, a lot of people have said that Connor McDavid's waiting for some of these contracts to be thrown out there.
Fair.
I just don't know. I understand that the cap is going to be at $125 million in 4 years, whatever it is.
Sign a 4-year deal.
Give or take. So obviously term comes down, or if term is at 4 years, the dollars come down.
Yeah.
You're signing a guy that is, here's a question for you. If you are starting a team right now, who are you taking? Kaprizov or Leon?
Leon.
Yes.
100 times out of 100.
I just don't understand. So it has to be term.
It's got to be something like that. I mean,
this is going to get a lot of leaks.
Somebody's got to be pissed off about it too in Minnesota's camp to leak that to the media.
Well, obviously, how the agents talk, right?
There's a reason that we know this. Somebody's frustrated.
Jordy just texted in, boy, that's going to perk up Connor's ears. KK from Sham says he's getting bad advice. I mean, I don't know. You went through contracts many, many times.
Yeah, I mean, you try to listen to your agent as much as you can, and I think what some people don't understand is there's another factor in the NHLPA for these top guys.
Mm-hmm.
They will call you and tell you, no, you can't take this. You've got to get at least this for the next generation of players that comes along. So this guy can get this much, and then the next guy can get that much. I know what happened with Oliver Ekman-Larsson when he re-signed that 8 times 8 or whatever it was in Arizona. They had called him and do not take what they're offering you right now.
Yeah.
So there's that factor with those upper echelon players too.
Paul Theophanis is his agent. Signed a 5-year, $45 million deal back in 2021. He's got one more year left on that at $9 million.
It comes down to what do you want too, right? Like he's already made, excuse me, $45 million. I mean, you look at a guy like Connor, I think it's more than just about the money. I think he wants to win and he's trying to figure out the best way to do that. Is Kaprizov doing the same thing? Maybe, but it doesn't sound like it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, Frank Saravalli reporting 8 years, $128 million turned down in a meeting yesterday in Minnesota by Kirill Kaprizov's camp, AAV of $16 million. When we come back, we'll wrap things up. A lot of text rolling in about this 833-401-1440. It's a Kevin Carey Show with the Duke of Delburne and David Schlemko on Sports 1440, and we're streaming on YouTube.
While the players gear up for the new season, make sure you gear up your snack game with Will Hawk Beef Jerky.
Okay, this jumbo bag of beef jerky should last the preseason.
Whoa. Will Hawk has more than just beef jerky. There's smoked sausage and pepperoni products, too.
Well, how about we have jerky for Eastern opponents and pepperoni sticks when we face the Western teams?
Now that sounds like a Will Hockey game plan.
Will Hawk Beef Jerky, because you don't win games with salad. Only available in Leduc.
At Leading Edge Physiotherapy, we believe that life shouldn't hurt. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't know that sometimes it really hurts. I mean, we've seen people at their worst moments in life, when they feel they have nowhere to turn, or at a time when they felt like their problem just wouldn't ever go away. We've also seen people who thought to themselves, it'll just go away on its own, or this is no big deal. I don't want to bother anyone about this. Don't know where to turn to, or think it's no big deal. Either way, we have the technology, techniques, and skills to help you get back to it, whatever your it may be. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
Local sports on weekends. Saturday mornings at 9. Check out the Saturday Sports Setup, where we'll tee up what's happening on the weekend sports scene. Tune in Saturday morning at 9 on Sports 1440.
Work never gets done by standing around. You have to put your words into action. And that's exactly what GS Construction does every single day. Our priorities are safety first, quality second, efficiency third. GS Construction works hard. It's true. But first comes the care, the planning, and the people. Underground infrastructure isn't just about machines and trenches and some traffic inconveniences. It's about doing things right. Find out more on what we do. Visit gsconstruction.ca.
Cougar Paint and Collision's Gord knows that pride in your work isn't just generational.
I started working at Cougar Paint Collision full-time at about 19. Sweeping the floor, washing cars, moving cars, emptying the garbages. It was good. If you're going to try and run the place one day, you got to start at the bottom. I don't really know what I would be doing with my life if my dad didn't have Cougar Paint and Collision. It's been a really good ride. I'm very proud to be a part of it, you know.
Cougar Paint and Collision, our family helping your family.
Perhaps by now, your golf game is in fine mid-season form.
Nice shot, Bob.
Or perhaps it isn't.
Ew.
But that's okay. At Colonial Golf Club, you'll find lush fairways, challenging greens, and just enough hazards to keep things interesting. After, reward yourself, no matter how you did, with a post-game recap at Colonial Grill and Bar. Colonial Golf Club, where even bad shots come with great views. Book your tee time now at colonial.ca.
I'm Rick Showers from No Bull RV, and you'd think that as a used RV expert, I'd be a real do-it-yourself guy. Oh, I know all the dirty and grungy stuff that has to be done to keep your quality used RV healthy, and I actually don't like doing it. That's why I hired a whole service team at No Bull. I get to talk about it on TikTok, and they get their hands dirty.
Gotta be some perks to being the boss, Rick.
That's right, Bob. It's only fair that I share it with everyone, which is why we created our Camp Ready Club. Here's how it works. For one low monthly cost of just $30, we'll do your spring opening, fall closing, and all your regular scheduled maintenance on your used RV.
Plus, club members get priority discounts and perks as well.
You know it, Bob. Camp Ready means you've got everything you need. But if you require service or repair during the peak summer season, Camp Ready members go to the front of the line to get you back to the great outdoors faster.
And that's No Bull. NoBullRV.ca.
Stories, guests, and insights. This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Karius Show.
Oh, welcome back to the big program, 1046. Remember the Wolfman, Schlemmer?
You know this one, no. I
That's
see you're pretty excited about it, though.
well, I played with a guy Kate named the Wolfman.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's played. Well, his brother Mark played in Medicine Hat for the Tigers. Mark Wolf for many years, but a long time ago. But Kurt Wolf was, well, they call him the Wolfman. He was one of the funniest guys ever.
Really?
Oh man.
When you started that sentence, I thought you were going to say I played with the Guess Who for a set. I just picture Kevin on the side of the stage, the tambourine just banging off of his hip.
Well, I mean, the Guess Who sold more records worldwide in the late 60s
than the Beatles
and the Rolling Stones.
And everyone.
So they were top.
They were big time.
Anyway, the Wolfman was an old DJ, and they thought, Guess Who? They were smart. Randy Bachman and Burton Cummings and all those guys. They said, well, let's write this song. We'll get the Wolfman on. And because that's how it used to be. Hey, play this record on the radio.
Yeah.
So it was clap for the Wolfman.
Smart.
Yeah. Burton Cummings, he joined the band. I think he was like 16 years old, 15 maybe even.
Wow.
They almost had to take, adopt him almost.
Growing up on the road, hey?
Oh, yeah. Those were the days. Michael Misa has signed his entry-level contract, according to the San Jose Sharks.
Another one that just jumped straight in, you think?
I think he's got a better chance to jump in than Peter Schaefer.
Peter
Schaefer. Matthew Schaefer. Peter, too. Peter, he's done.
Yeah,
it would be tough for Peter to do it.
Peter's probably done.
Matthew Schaefer. Yeah.
You think he's got a better shot?
I don't know. Defense and
interesting.
Schaefer missed a lot of time last year, right?
It's true.
I don't know.
It's supposed to be the real deal, though.
Yeah. Misa's a big guy, right?
Yeah.
But again, San Jose, we talked about it in the break. One of your old alma maters. They've added a lot of young guys.
They've stocked the cupboard.
I think they need a little more veteran presence.
Yeah, I think they're still kind of in that transitional period where they'll have to sign some veteran guys. You still got to keep the culture going the way you want it to go.
It's a tough one for sure. Just to revisit Frank Saravalli's text about Kirill Kaprizov, in case you missed it. Frank sent a social media post, I should say, out about 15, 20 minutes ago, saying that Kirill Kaprizov's camp turned down an extension offer believed to be 8 years, $128 million in a meeting yesterday in Minnesota. Would have made him the highest paid player, AAV, and total bucks. So 128 AAV would be $16 million.
It's a lot of dough.
As you can imagine, Frank is getting quite a few responses on this old Twix or tweet or X, whatever it is.
That would be X.
I call it Twix. Hey, you know what, Duke? I saw the Twix Seinfeld episode last night when George
at the dealership.
At the dealership, yeah. And he tries the old trick, the trickaroo, and he goes, "It's a joke. It was all a setup. They were all Twix candy bars."
George Costanza pitching for the Astros today.
Yes, Jason Alexander. The best line in there is that Jerry's talking to Elaine and Putty when, "What do I have to do to get you two into a relationship today?"
And that rings true because a couple weekends ago I was out with my mother who was shopping for a new to her vehicle, and we were at a dealership, and I did that job. I sold cars for a couple of years, so you're pretty familiar with a lot of the.
Look at
the
Josh
lingo.
can't believe that you sold cars. Oh yeah.
Oh, buddy,
what was the dealer?
I was an excellent car salesman.
It was a used car lot, right?
I sold used and new cars. Yeah.
What was the name of the place?
It's just up there, the Ford dealership on Stony Point.
Okay,
that's where I worked.
Now, what was the most? I don't know about commission, but what's the nicest vehicle you sold?
Well, so that dealership was a Shelby authorized dealer. We sold the Shelby F-150s that are custom built in Indiana. They're $750,000 trucks.
Come on. That's a little outrageous. How many of those you sell?
I sold a couple. The dealership usually sold a dozen or so a year.
Where are these things on the road?
There was one in Fort Saskatchewan, actually, a guy that lived just down the street when I was living with Chucky Slick out there. A guy just on the street had one, but there was two versions of it. There was the 750 horsepower one, which was like the supercharged, and then the other, which was the stock 5-liter V8 engine, but it had all the same lift and badging and all that jazz. So those were a little bit different, and a big difference in price as a result, because it didn't have all the performance stuff with it. But yeah, they're pretty cool. They're fun to like. They weren't exactly ones that you were hopping in to go for a coffee run for the staff on a Saturday morning.
Yeah,
but sometimes you would maybe take one of the Mustangs out to do that. A 5-banger on that. Those are fun.
Text 833-401-1440. Just a quick one. Edsonite texted in. So did JR and Red Deer. This is maybe directed at you, Schlemmer. Doesn't the NHLPA represent the bottom of the league? It seems like the superstars make the good money, obviously. It helps bump the cap up, etc. But I guess, and it's a longer text, just, they want the high guys to go higher.
100%.
But then a guy like Sid Crosby, he took less.
Yeah, they don't love that. Honestly, they don't. The PA does not love that. I love it. I think it's great. I love the loyalty. I love Sid. I think he's just been amazing for the game.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it is a business, right?
I see all sides and everything, and I know what you're saying. What about Sid? A lot of people have been saying about Connor waiting, and maybe there's going to be talk about Connor now.
Oh, 100%. Oh, yeah. Especially in Toronto.
Man, that just won't go away, will it?
No.
Yeah.
Not until he signs.
Yeah, exactly. What's on the go here, Schlemmer? Are you golfing today or what?
Not today. Golfing Friday. Oh. Taking a little break here. Been a little hectic around the house. So
you should maybe head out to the ATB Classic at Northern Bear.
Yeah.
I mean, the golf, it's just great. And Duke's going to be out there Friday. I'm going to try my very best, Duke, just to help you out.
What hole are you on, Duke?
Well, there's a little, it's the Sleeman Birdie tent.
Sponsored by Sports 1440. It's right at the home stretch.
So 9 and 18, where they come in.
Yeah.
So
I've never been to Northern Bear. So
you haven't?
No, this is all going to be a new experience to me.
I know where the clubhouse used to be.
Well, you're going to love 9 and 18, Duke, because technically those two holes are very close to being what you would call mirror images of each hole. Because 9, I believe, would be sort of a dogleg right, Schlemmer, around the water.
I don't remember.
Okay, and then 18 would be sort of a dogleg left coming around the water.
Okay.
And then the greens are, side by side, sort of
each other.
And then you used to be able to watch it on Hemorrhoid Hill or whatever you want to call it.
That's what they called it.
Well, that's what they called it at Taylor Field in Regina, Duke.
Sure.
Well, you sit on the grass, you know what happens.
No, I don't. I can sit on the ground. It's not a problem for me.
Well, have a great week and weekend, Schlemmer.
Thanks, buddy. You as well.
Good stuff. And we'll talk to you next Wednesday.
You bet.
Thanks to all our guests today. We had Nick Baumgardner leading things off. Mark Killam from the Elks. We'll hear from Cody Fajardo tomorrow. Mark Spector, Pete Jensen, Will Holen, Jordan Hall, and of course, David Schlemko. Brought to you by Cougar Paint and Collision, our family helping your family for over 40 years. Check them out at cougarcollision.com. Coming up at the top of the hour, it is Fantasy Frenzy with
the former Rochep T-Bird,
Connor Halley, and the Duke of Delburne. 12 o'clock, it's the Lowdown with Alan Mitchell till 2. Jason Greger drives us home till 6 o'clock with the Jason Greger Show. We got Fox Sports all night long. We're back with you tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock with our co-host, Ladislav Schmid. Before all that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor, the best place for wine, cocktails, and beers from all over the world. Also, a variety of excellent non-alcoholic options. See more at SherbrookeLiquor.com. Hey, thanks for listening this morning. Really appreciate everyone coming along for the ride on Sports 1440 and streaming on YouTube. We could not do the show without you, with all the great interaction and the text line and things like that. Have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday, everyone. We'll see you back here tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Here is the Duke.
This is a Sports 1440 update. Thank you.
Game 2 between the Blue Jays and the Astros tonight from Rogers Center. First pitch once again coming just after 5 o'clock. Jose Barrios on the bump for Toronto. Jason Alexander will counter for Houston. Elsewhere around the majors, Texas hosting the Brewers. Red Sox wrapping it up in Sacramento against the Athletics. D-backs, Giants. Now getting underway just before 2 o'clock Mountain Time. Mets are in Philadelphia. Cubs taking on the Braves. Dodgers host the Rockies, and the Seattle Mariners taking on the St. Louis Cardinals. Off the field, three-time All-Star first baseman Anthony Rizzo officially announcing his retirement. 14-year veteran with the Padres, Cubbies, and Yankees. Rizzo was a 4-time Gold Glove winner and took home the World Series in 2016 with the Chicago Cubbies. From the NHL, San Jose Sharks first-round pick Michael Misa signing his entry-level contract earlier on this morning, as announced by the team. And insider Frank Saravalli reporting that the Minnesota Wild winger Kirill Kaprizov turning down an extension offer that was reported to be 8 years, $128 million. Coming up in Sports 1440's next hour will be Fantasy Frenzy with Hallie and Douglas. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton.